let's get right into things. I just want to have a casual, banter here with people. I'm happy to bring people up to stage. I'm going to start just by sharing with everyone my strategy, which I have already tweeted and rather written about in Sci-Fi Ideas. Basically, I'm a very busy guy, very, very busy man, and I need to be efficient and to be able to cope with everything and all my roles in life and be good with my family, which I need to go next door in 30 minutes for dinner. And I was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock p.m. and it's 8:32 right now. So to manage all of this, I need to have a process, and the process is very simple. Every step I take, I try to get data and updates, make a decision using my background, my statistical, analytical, academic, practitioner, PhD, business psych background, and make predictions and go with those. And then there's a reaction. I see what happens. I move to the next move, right? With the same methodology. Sometimes it's plus EV, sometimes it's negative EV. But if I keep doing this at every step, at every move, at the end of the day, I believe it works out, and it has worked out for me in my life and any decisions I've made, from marrying to careers to business deals to being here to everything. So the strategy was simple for me. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to stay at the very last minute, because unfortunately, some things for me, I have to put them at the very last minute, like airdrop claims. I claimed Avail today, but Path is another one. And so very important one, the most important one for me in crypto, of course. And so I decided to stay at the very last few hours, right? I gave myself 4, 5, 6 hours, and I had already prepared myself in advance of what I was going to do, like my R, I do R, which is statistical analysis, and I have data, and I have, I run regressions and models and longitudinal growth modeling and more advanced things like that, like PhD, academic stuff. In industry, people don't really use these things, although they're not as sophisticated. The most sophisticated I've seen is Google and Amazon, most likely, because I have friends that work there, PhD level friends in very high positions. So what I did is I saw that, number one, the most likely central tendency of data, the mean, the mode, and the average, let's say, for people that are not don't know the statistics, was around the last 2 categories, right? So it was less than above 620, and between, I need to see this now, the 28 or so, 29 ranks before that of what it was. So I knew those 2 categories would be at play. And I had a guess that, and I hope that people wouldn't be dumping Path to take it to the upper 620 category. I hope, and given the price where we are now, I thought that was unlikely to happen because Path is very underestimated. My personal opinion, right? All of this is not financial advice. Sorry, counselor is not up here to back me up, but everything a counselor says at the beginning of the OG podcast, please consider that it's the standard whenever I speak publicly, okay? I need to document that. So no financial advice, anything I say. So I knew it would be those 2 categories, number one. And then I knew I had to spread and play all of those categories, the ranks within those categories. And number 3, I knew that I needed to weight my BMT based on the density, how much actual BMT other people have staked before me. And I knew, based on Shaka's game, that out of 18 billion BMT, only 13 billion were deposited for Shaka, the whole game, for game 1, Goldilocks. And so at that point that I was making my decisions, it was about, 11, 12 billion. So I knew most people that were going to play the game had played the game, right? So the data are more reliable this way. And hence the advantage of the strategy of playing at the very end, which unfortunately comes with the downside of 50% potency. But it's okay, you know, I can make an educated guess. I put my money there. I put it inside based on my conviction, based on what makes logical scientific sense, common sense. As a researcher, let's say, in psychology, I teach statistics, I teach research methodology, all these things that I'm telling you. I teach people at the university level. Anyway, so and so the decision was I needed to wait based on potency, right? Because you can see, and shout out to Micro out there that shared the data. Micro shared the original Excel file with all the data with me. He was very kind. He also did the graphs for all of us, right? If you remember the Discord, I want to shout out to him because he's the one that computed those graphs that I shared. And you know, sometimes people don't want to be very public about things, and I need to respect people's privacy. But we're in the Discord, you all have seen what he has posted. I can say this here in Discord. And if he allows me and permits me, I'm more than happy to acknowledge and recognize his work in you know, more public places like Twitter, where I'm trying to create my own brand. And I appreciate anybody that's following me, liking and tweeting and all the fucking Twitter algo that it does. You'd be surprised at Twitter algo how it works, you know? Spelling, you get fucking Nazi, you know? The Twitter Nazi, you know? He doesn't like spelling. He doesn't like swearing and other stuff, you know? So you have to have less followers and have more followers than the people you follow, stuff like that. Anyway, but if I want to get my message across, because I share my message across in Web 2 at the university level, at the industry level. But now, you know, I want to share my message in Web 3, right? In crypto, which is my passion. I've been here since 2016. I've made a substantial amount of money and I lost a substantially less amount of money. So yeah, so thank you for everyone that's following and supporting there. I want to say that. And it's my message to again onboard people to crypto. The things I've been doing for the past, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. To be honest, I created the university's first crypto club with people and gave lectures and showed people on laptops and did like workshops on these things. And anyway, so back to Puff. I digress. Back to Puff. So I knew that's what I was supposed to do, and that's what I was doing. Me and the family. Because we try to involve our family too. And my daughter, although she's 11 years old and she might appear very young to you, she's so smart, like a Roblox gamer type smart and very artistically inclined, like her mother. And she knows more crypto than my average friends here in Cyprus or in you know, IRL in real life. Anyway. So that was my strategy. That's what I did. That is what we did as a family. And because it's a family game for us, Puff. Again, you know, I have a substantial Puff. I would be considered a whale at Puff. But I'm definitely not dumping my rewards. I want to make that clear. Because for me, Puff has a longer term vision. And I've said this publicly on Discord earlier today. We're not a free. We're not trying to be a cult. We're not trying to scam people, of course, for God's sakes. For Mother of Dragons, for God's sakes. But if for Mother of Dragon, for God's sakes, half goes to 0, you know, I have sized enough that would not be a life-changing blow in my life. It will be a blow in my ego, in my reputation, perhaps, in my, you know, psychology, my mind, that's going to vex me forever and ever. And would be forever together, unfortunately, with me, but the bad type of forever together, you know what I mean? So yeah, I give this my all, and that's my strategy, and yeah, we are winners, and I congratulations to all the other winners up there. Control, if you're available, can you share your strategy? And otherwise, I'm going to go to the audience because that's enough from me, and we have another 20 minutes or so, if not more, if somebody else wants to lead this, and I can pass the baton to you. But yeah, I hope. Please tell me you were listening to everything I said, man. Control, save me.
Did you say something?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
You're giving me palpitations, man. You're giving me palpitations.
everybody was listening, which was great. I think we had similar strategies, just slightly different. Mine was definitely a little less academic, but still, I tried to calculate just probability more than anything else. And so my strategy, I knew from the very beginning. Well, not that I knew from the very beginning. At first, I really needed to figure out what the game was all about and all of the rules, and kind of really sit and think about what I was going to do. And I only really saw two major strategies that were probably going to give the most amount of yield. And one of them was just going to be to place your bets at the very beginning, which I believe most people did, which was really smart. It's just that you have higher yield, but then you miss on accuracy, which I think was what the issue was.
Right.
And I had a slight edge because I tend to do a lot of technical analysis on charts, and so I could see that there was a high probability that we would go down in market cap, and which would allow me to be a little bit more precise on the bets. And yet I still chose to wait. So I decided to do the second strategy, which was to wait and increase my position. Be more precise. There we go.
Yeah.
And and yeah, so I just waited until Friday. I ideally wanted to place everything on Saturday, but I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to do so. I wasn't gonna have the same level of attention, and it worked out because, well, I managed to just do what the original plan was, just one day earlier, and that allowed me to get a higher yield on my bet, and it worked out. So, and I recently found out that the number that came out was 607. Was it? If that's correct.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that you pointed out the importance of preparation, right? You had a plan, you prepared, you stick to it. In our case, it was, we had a plan. There's one more detail I should comment on about the strategy, but I'll say that after I finish with preparation, my point on preparation, that, we had a time frame that we emptied everything in our schedules. And my daughter, my son, my wife, me, everybody, laptops, everybody prepared. They know, these kids, they're so freaking smart. They even catch scammers on Roblox, you guys. You won't believe it. My daughter was describing me scamming in Roblox in a game called Adopt Me. I'll write a sci-fi on this. This is like insane stuff, right? That happens that you wouldn't know, because especially if you don't have kids. But there's scammers that lurk in places that kids roam, children. Although my daughter is more teenager, but everybody was prepared. Not to digress again, everybody was prepared. We had a plan. Everybody knew the rankings. Everybody did their thing, and we executed together as a family. We had our time. We have to leave ample time. We had we had a trial run actually the night before, and we had some disagreements that we had resolved, and we executed, man. In Dragon family, we are. So the other thing I want to come back to about the decision was the two categories. It wasn't for me a 50-50 split, because I thought personally that we wouldn't go above 620. I was like, I would tell you 90% sure it wouldn't be above 620, but that's my biased emotional response. So I was more conservative, which again, fuck me. Otherwise, I would have bet higher percentage on the winning category, on the winning bucket. But because I felt that I could be wrong, right? I decided to do about 70-30 split. So 70%, let's say, of our BMT portfolio went in the winning category, spread out based on the frequency of potency from ranks 590 to 619, which is the winning category, to go 65% in, and from categories 620 to 660, just in case I was wrong, just in case, you know, what whale can come in, although I told you, I think PAF is very underestimated and undervalued. So I don't think, and I think all of us here that are present acknowledge that and recognize that. So yeah, we're only 40% up, because somebody that comes here and is mindful and is smart, like I have some friends in Cyprus that they don't know anything about crypto, but if they were to come in and think, because they have an analytical mind, they would say, fuck, PAF is at 30 cents, is 3x. Compare that to, oh fuck, PAF is at 40% up, you know, good entry price compared to the pre-sale, the launch, right? So it's a different psychological mindset to have, and we have, unfortunately, a lower price. That the advantage is we can actually pump it and boost it and share it with people. So that's a kind request to everyone here listening. Control, you're available, I guess, I am assuming?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come up.
In the chat, he said 18.1 million.
Okay.
At the end of the game for 607.
Wonderful. And the other important thing I will leave you to is that, and I'll try and be online, is that the devs are cooking. They're working on having the claim set up. You should be up in the next few hours. Be patient. If there's any UI issues, let us know. Let the OG Guardians know. They will let me know. The devs will fix it. No problem. Okay, let's have a smooth transition as much as possible. Every time we have an agile, I use in HRM when I deal with development teams in consulting. We use an agile methodology. Okay, we have sprints and we have meetings at each sprint, and we meet ideally every day, you know, for 15 minutes, and then we meet every 2 weeks and at the end of the month, of course. And we also meet at the end of every product, and we reflect, and we have processes in place, or we create new processes in place that would avoid any mistakes, human error mistakes, for example, that might have inadvertently happen, and just improve. And it's based on the total quality management framework by a guy called Juran and Dering, who basically were the reason, people don't know this, were the reason that Japan resurrected itself from ashes, literally ashes, unfortunately, tragically, in the 1950s, the late 1940s and 1950s. It is from the methodologies and the brilliant mindset of these two people who pitched this total quality management TQM approach to the businesses in the US, were shunned because they were academics and they didn't know what they were saying, right? And they were relegated to the side. And the Japanese brought them in, they listened what they had to say, they implemented it, and they boomed up, you know, in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. There where Japan was like a superpower. It still is a superpower, but arguably not the superpower it was, in previous decades, but still a noteworthy country. I love Japan. I go for snowboarding in Hokkaido. Shout out to people I know there in Hokkaido. Arigatou gozaimashita. So I took too much. So Control, take it over, okay?
Well, I mean, weren't they the ones that sort of changed the philosophy and the marketing behind everything in Japan, essentially becoming the quality central of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe Japan was the standard of quality, you know, way before the Europeans. Yeah, of course, cars, and still now, you know, they're very reliable. Honda, for example, not to be on Honda, but we used to have a Honda Prelude, 1980 Honda Prelude, white one with a nice sunroof. My dad drove it from Saudi Arabia and brought it to Cyprus. Anyway, we have antiques too. My father loves his cars. Yeah, absolutely. It was quality. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love cars. Honda is definitely high performing. If there are any F1 fans in the chat, they'll know. F1 teams are essentially fighting to get a chance at getting Honda engines into
Yeah,
cars.
yeah. You know, now that you
So,
say that,
yeah.
we should, you know what we should do? That would be very cool to do. Because Formula One and crypto are kind of related in a sense, psychologically, at least in my mind, symbolically. We should try and get a ticket, one ticket for one person, a pathkeeper role person. This person needs to have accomplished something that everybody says respect, you know, to get it. I don't know what that thing is, but if people have ideas, again, pass them to the OGs. They will get them to me. I will reflect on them. I will speak about them. I will talk with them with Jordi. We decide, and we see if we can make it happen. It would be a wonderful story.
Yeah. As long as I get to take them to oh, that's good. Anyways, getting us back on track. Just wanted to ask, did you have a lot of thinking behind number 607? Because I got to tell you, I didn't actually. I won because I just realized recently.
Okay.
As soon as
awesome, man. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for you.
I also won, and yeah, but I didn't actually put too much effort into it. I was going to put number 606, but my looking number is number 7. And so instead of putting 606, which seemed quite like a nice number, I decided to go for 607 just because it's my lucky number, and it just so happens that I managed to hit it. So, but did you put any thought behind the actual number?
Yeah.
Because I know that
so this is
there are also people that might have strategized to try and get part of the jackpot. And I did think about this as well, about making multiple entries so that they would get partial, or that you could sort of sweep the numbers the closer you actually were to, so yesterday, closer to the end of the actual entries. You could have essentially swept different numbers by dividing your entries into, say, 4, and then you could do 605, 606, 607, 608, for example. And you're putting the same amount of money that you would, but now you have a probability or a higher chance of actually sweeping the number and actually getting it. Is that something that you thought about? Is that something that you did, or how did you?
Yeah, let me give you the technical answer, what an academic or PhD consultant would say, and then I'll say it in retail language, in normal parlance. What you just described, the distribution of potency across categories, across rankings, was something that my analysis took into account and controlled for in the or normal regression, I should say, on this one. And so I didn't have anything special about 607, except one thing, which I would say next, after I finish explaining what I just said right now, which is, if you noticed, most people were betting a lot around the borders, right? So a lot of people at 619, a lot of people were at 620, 621, and so you didn't want to bet all of your BMT there, right? You wanted to get the winning category. That's great, but when you want to be more precise and chance it, or let's say decide where to put it when it comes to the ranking, the specific ranking, like this would be the least preferable, the least attractive ranking to put it on. Okay. If potency of, let's actually speak with actual numbers. If 555, there's 427 bets on ranking 555, 555, and a total potency of 455 million, right, BMT. So this, if you believe that the ranking would be in the category of 555, which I don't know on the top of my head right now which category is that, you don't want to put the specific ranking prediction here, right? Because you will win if the category wins, but you can win more if you concentrate your bets in other less popular positions, like position 556 that has 135 bets and 72 million in potency. Okay, not best, but better than 555 without knowing, right? It's a guess. You need to make an educated guess. You don't know what it's going to be, right? So you base it, in my case, on scientific methodology and, use some stats. And you don't need to go, regression-wise stats. You can eyeball it. It's very easy to do and very simple. It doesn't have to be as sophisticated as for me. And I don't always have time to be as sophisticated, but we have time. I had some preparation. I knew what I was going to do. I know my R studio, so it was easy. And I had Micro to give me the data, the raw data to analyze. And another mastermind friend that also gave me some raw data that I also analyzed for him and myself. So
thank you, Micro.
Yeah. Shout out to Micro again. But now that I've explained what I meant, the second point is that 607 and anything that has 7 in it, or 13 in it, or 26 in it, or 27 in it, or number 1 in it, or some numbers that are very important symbolically in my personal life for different reasons, football teams, family dates, rankings at awards, PhD years, number of companies consulted, number of PhD students, number of graduate students I have, I supervise personally, whatever number is symbolic, meaningful to VIAS, okay, I tend to attach an emotional aspect to it and go left curved from my right curvedness, which is good because it balances me out, because you need a balance in everything in life. And so whenever I found, personally, when I was clicking those buttons, whenever I saw a number with 7, for example, in this case, I would just put a speckle of more, Now, how much that speckle of more was, I can't tell you. So yeah, man, that's that. So I have come full circle in my debriefing on what I personally as VS did, and that's how I acted. And this time it worked. Next time it might not work, and don't listen to me. But if you employ in your life a scientific approach to things, in my case, that's my background. I've been in university settings and industry since 2008, 2004 that I started my BA in psychology, and also was a criminology major minor, actually. Everything, all of that, I use that to guide me in my life and make my decisions. And it's not always plus EV, but at the end of the day, things work out. So everybody, I encourage everyone, TLDR, have a process, test it. If it works, stick to it. If it doesn't work, change it. Always try to find holes in it. The Principle of Falsifiability by Karl Popper. I wrote about it in Sci-Fi VS. Check it out. Make holes if you can. If you cannot, that's great. Come up with other theories to explain it and guide your predictions, your guesses, your decisions, right? Always be humble and know that you are wrong. One thing I know is that I know nothing. That is what Socrates said hundreds and thousands of years ago. And I abide, and I have this psychological thing because I have a Greek background, and my name is Vias, which if you ask people here in Cyprus, Vias, the name, they will tell you he's not from Cyprus because they've never heard of my name before. Vias is a very, very rare Greek name to find in Greek society, Greek-speaking society. And it's also associated with bad words in Greek, like violence. Via is violence in Greek. Vias, with an S, is my name. And sometimes you call me via in certain tenses when you conjugate a verb and you call out someone, you might say via instead of vias. Anyway, that's too technical Greek language, but people that know what I mean. So my name is one of the 7 ancient Greek philosophers of Greece, one of the 7 ancient wise men, Dias of Brines. He was from a place which is now in Minor Asia. And he has a statue of his head, Protomi, in the Vatican. You can go and see it. You can take a picture of it, as I have, and that was my profile on Discord before Puff. And on the stone, etched in the annals of history thousands of years ago, they wrote something he said, Πλείστοι Anthropi Κακοί. Most people bad, evil. Most people out there are evil, they're bad, right? And it's a very cynical view of human nature. And I as a psychologist disagree. I mean, I agree, but I also think that there's good in people, and that's what we stand for in crypto, the good force, the light force. But there is a dark force, to make it Star Trek like, which is crypto native culture. I believe there's good in people, and I want to be part of that good. You know, there's 5 out of 100 because most people please the Anthropi Kakοί, then so be it. It's 5 of us. But I think there's much more than 5%. I mentioned 5% before when I meant crypto protocols, because you know how many scams and meme coins there are. Fuck me. You know, I lost lots of money in the ICOH in the 2017, December and January 2018. Yeah. Anyway. I digress again, but everybody should have a process, stick to it, evaluate it, be humble, and make connections in Discord, meet people, smart people like Micro, for example, that can give you insight, that can help you have an edge, you know, information that not anybody else knows. That's your source of gain, you know, and competitive advantage. That's what people fail to grasp, you know, by being part of our Discord and the community and being engaged. Like you have access to information, good information, that everybody else that is a path and outside the Discord don't. In Discord, guys, we have 14,500 people, give or take. There's only 3,000 path keepers. Only 3,000 people that made the leap to connect their wallet safely, right? And get the role. So you, if you're a path keeper and listening to me right now, you are the minority that are early and enjoy the alpha in the Discord, and so you should use it in your advantage. And you, that you're listening here, that you're a hatchling and you haven't been able to, or you haven't connected consciously, made the decision to the leap of faith, right? Because it's a trust thing, it's a symbol of trust. When somebody clicks that button, know psychologically, when somebody clicks that button in crypto, and they connect to a new protocol, a new guild Discord, right? That's their fucking wallet, guys. That could be life-changing amounts for some people. And it shouldn't be. You shouldn't do that for life-changing amounts. You should play it safe, right? And make sure, you know, check the links, check the contracts. Don't go to links in the comment section and all of that. You know, have a Trezor or Ledger or another cold wallet, or let me know about other cold wallets to tell people. Yeah, I don't know. I digress. Control, help me out with my thoughts here.
Oh, you're good.
I'm fire spitting here. But yeah, when people make that leap and they connect their wallets, it's only 3,000 of us. Thankfully, it's not 300, the Spartans. That would be a good meme. But thankfully, we're 3,000. Maybe we can make a meme, you know, the times 10 Sparta, you know. Let's make that a meme or something. But you, Dragon Hatchling, that you haven't connected, and I understand your concerns, and talk to me, talk to the OGs about them. Connect, be part of the community, access the gated chat, the Order of Dragons, so that you have to have the Discord role to access it, where Micro posts these charts and everybody else shares their perspective in an inclusive, altruistic, community, innovative, noble, financially and psychologically gainful way, an ACING way. That's my style. And again, guys, this is my framework. Sorry, crypto native whales that don't like this soft stuff. But this is Vias, this is not your speaking. But this is my framework that I apply in science, in industry. You know, I'm going to write a sci-fi piece on the big 5 traits of personality. You can measure people, you can assess people, you can know people, break people down in 5 stuff. I'll write about them. But you can also do the same thing for organizations, online organizations, communities like we have here at Puff, right? And so I have this big 5. my big five that has come out of my research from data, my consultation with other PhD friends of mine, close friends of mine that espouse my values and know about me, Diaz, that I have had the privilege to meet and engage in my life and network with, that we came up with, let's say, collectively, because I wouldn't have come up with it by myself. It's a collective incubation, creative incubation that happens in my mind and people's minds when they try to be creative and innovative. Creativity is the thought, innovation is the application of that, just to be, so we know our terms here, what I mean by that psychologically, because we need to be precise and define things in psychology and be a little academic with what we mean. Like the person today in the Discord, they said an exit plan. Like, what does that mean? I don't know what it means. You need to define it for me, and I'll comment and tell you and answer your question. And the guy was very kind and very nice, and I encourage such thoughtful conversations in the Discord. But that's exactly the type of privilege that you also have, right? By having access to all of this information and platform to share your perspective to the extent that you feel comfortable sharing, or just read the perspectives of others and learn from the collective wisdom of the crowds, which typically is good, okay? But we have to also be scientific. I don't know, again, control where I was going with this, but ACING values, bias, personal perspective, application of path. Yeah, and this is why I will continue to be at path after I can commit to that personally as Diaz, if Jordi allows me and gives me the keys, the Lamborghini, let's say, to continue path on this trajectory and bring Web 2 to us, not take us to Web 2. Because right now, Web 2, the internet, all the communities online, right? The Apple Maxis, the Google Maxis, et cetera, the Tesla Maxis, et cetera. They're Web 2, right? They use Web 2 products, financial products too. But there's Web 3 products. A lot of them we pioneered, some protocols are pioneered, like Aave, for example, like Balancer, like Curve, like people like Mitch, people like Andrei Kronje, people like Hayden, people like Vitalik, people like all the big brains in the industry that have been the OGs way before me here, have contributed to. So we have good products. So Web 2 now, when they decide to come to Web 3 to use these products, whatever product they choose to create, to go with, right? They will need a community, the emotional aspect, right? In any company, any system, you have community and you have product. So we have product in terms of the journey right now, masterfully crafted again. I keep saying that because I believe that, by Jordi, Arch Dragon Jordi, shout out there to Jordi, mastermind Yoda Brain. Very humbled, very honored to be allowed by him to be where I am with Path today. Because I didn't need Path for my financial prosperity or anything like that. I need Path for my Web3 vision to establish myself as a thought leader in Web3 as I have in Web2. That's my motivation, that's what drives me. And I do this because it's my calling, it's my motivator to be here. Shout out to my wifey, who I don't know who she's listening right now, who is waiting for me 19 minutes past the time I told her I would be there, and the sacrifices we all make. And I love her to death for that, and she will forgive me one more fucking time. Συγγνώμη, αγάπη μου. Sorry, my love. But I'm coming very, very soon. I'll pass it to control and I'll switch because I'm in my office in the attic, in the penthouse office. But I need to go next door. Adjacent is where I live. And again, I digress, but I go back. But I want to at different times because I do have fortunately, I think a very important position at Path. What I say can move markets, right? If I say, devs hacked the protocol, if I say anything stupid like that, price will react. So I have a huge responsibility. Everybody has a huge responsibility that's involved in Path, the core team members. We are mature enough. I'm 40 years old almost. If I was 20 years old, I wouldn't be able to do this because I wouldn't be mature enough. I have the big four of McKinsey, intimacy, not being self-centered, reliable, credible, And if anybody's at McKinsey, they know what I'm talking about. Shout out to them. I have colleagues there in China, and McKinsey China, and USA McKinsey, and that would probably listen to this one day. You know who you are. PhDs, very valued friends. So I do feel the need, and that's why I give all of this information out about myself, and I go on tangents. It's not because I'm self-centered, on the contrary, or egoistical, or I want airtime, I want, influencing status. I don't want to be that type of influencer. I want to be a thought leader, provide original thought, quality content, psychology, business, self-improvement, life. I want people to be happy. I want to onboard people. That's who VIAS is. And anybody that is ever in Cyprus or in South Korea is always welcome to DM me here on Discord. And, lunch, dinner is on me. And already I have had contacts like that, whales that have got in touch from PAF, people I didn't know before, that came to Cyprus, and we met together, had a very respectful, nice dinner together with the family. I took my baby dragon daughter there with my wife. This person brought their wife. Shout out to her as well. Very valued, very cherished. We had wonderful conversations about crypto, about life. And I do want to have those conversations with you all, and anybody that is ever randomly around Cyprus, or consciously, deliberately around Cyprus or South Korea, because that's where I live. Right now I'm in Cyprus. Next month, end of June, I'm going to South Korea. We're changing shifts. And I do these things because I want to do these things, and that's where I want to live with my wife and raise my baby dragon daughter and kids, dragon kids, all of which I love, and all of which I think what's best for them, their best interest is to be in South Korea and Cyprus. South Korea for schooling, social life, Cyprus for family life and social life. And it's a balance, it's a 50-50 balance. Like everything, we have to be balanced. So I choose to live there. If I wanted, I could have lived in DC. I lived in DC. We lived in Fairfax for some time. Virginia, shout out to my people in Nova in DC. Lots of people I know there. Again, PhD, master's people. Because you have to understand that in my program, PhD, the PhD program has, it takes you fucking at least 5 years to 8, 9, 10 years, 12 years for some people. And there's different cohorts, and there's maybe 5, 6 students per cohort. So that's automatically, 30, 40 people that are very intimately tied to you every day. Those are your not coworkers, those are your friends. You go through everything every day. Same classes, same professors, same research groups, same labs, same companies, same projects, same consulting, all the same, with the same alumni network that my university, shout out to George Mason University, again there. And also shout out to the University of Limassol, which I'm also helping here in Cyprus, because I want to spread psychology, industrial organizational psychology, and HRM, and human capital management to the masses at an academic level, institutional, university level. So I help there as well. So the community there. So 50, 40 PhDs there, plus all the other alumni in the area, plus about 15 to 20 selected, very, very highly intelligent, charismatic, super smart people. They're not in crypto, but they're friends, in master's cohorts, ×5. So the fucking network is insane. The amount of brainhood in there surpasses Yotahood. And it's very important for all of us to discover these networks. That's the network that life gave me, that's the hands that I was dealt with if I was playing poker, right? With everything, with personal life, professional life, academic life, upbringing, parents, all of that, friends, bullying. When I was bullied when I was younger in high school because of my name. Remember my name, going back to that, Vias. Viastis means rapist in Greek. Viastis, like fucking 3 characters away from my name. And kids are very mean when you're young, So when I was younger, it wasn't a good name to have, and I got picked on. But now when I'm older and I meet people in Cypriot and Greek society, they tell me, oh, what a beautiful name you had. Yeah, but fucking name gave me fucking horror nightmares when I was younger. Anyway, fucking scarred me in a sense, stigmatized me in some settings. Anyway, I digress again. But you should find this network that life has dealt you, and we all have them. You are not alone. Number one, you have the network here in the community at Path. That's your real source of advantage. And all of this is alpha, life alpha. Some path related, some not path related. So this is my lecture time. And so everybody needs to find those communities, that source of knowledge, that source of alpha edge. For me, it's my academic and practitioner networking that I have cultivated since 2004 to today. Most of you are much younger than me, but you can start this process now if you haven't. Connect with people, follow people, ask questions, show your interest, be passionate if you're serious about crypto. Suffice to say, TLDR, you all have your networks. Use the almighty Dragon layer wisely. Be here, participate, and good things will happen. Try to have a process. I described mine in writing, in sci-fi, in tweets. I'll continue doing so verbally here, which I will record, hopefully, and upload. And I don't know if anybody's recording, but that's good to know if we have a backup. But I'm recording here, it should be fine. Have a process and stick to it, and have a plan for path, have a plan for Bitcoin, have a plan for your kids, have a plan for your wife, have a plan for your gym routine, have a plan for your snowboarding trips, have a plan for your friends, have a plan for your family time, have a plan for every fucking thing. So you don't leave things to chance. Chance and stuff we don't control is a fact of life. We don't control what we don't control, okay? But we do control many things. We make decisions consciously every day. Free will was described as an illusion by the father of psychology, and William James. And I think he is right to an extent, but we also make conscious decisions right now. I am consciously deciding to be here and talk to you, and my wife is next door, and she's consciously deciding to forgive me, you know? So control the things that you can in life and make good decisions with all of this alpha that I have shared in this call. And I thank all 31 of you that are now here. We had 40 something, now it's 31. That's pretty much very good retention rate. So what I'm saying must probably be good for people. But I will shut up now. I will let Control maybe summarize me. I'll stay here for 5 more minutes, and then I'll let Control, and then I'll go next door. You have to forgive me. I have said what I've said, and TMI actually for some of you perhaps, and apologies. Forgive me, but I have explained my rationale and why I am verbose right now. But quality as well, not only quantity, quality and quantity. So Control, summarize us for us, bring people on stage, and allow me to reflect for 5 minutes. If I'll be here online, and then I'll disconnect. I will go next door. I'll be connected, but I'll be having dinner with my family and having in the background. And if there's something important, I will interject. Okay, so let's do that, please.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to kind of summarize what VS has said, and I think a lot of people here, or at least the ones that have stayed around, might have been able to synthesize everything. But just in case you haven't, just wanted to say that what he means is that a lot of the people here, you know, in the community, it's sort of like having a round table, and everybody can just gather around and share ideas and bounce ideas off of each other. And so we need to think about it more as a club. And
yeah, I mean, and again, I don't want to be misunderstood, but we're not a cult, we're not free, we're a ACING community for me, and we are a collective of smart people that share these core values and more that I don't want to put people in categories, right? And that's the thing, that's why I say this is VS. Because when you tell people, I know this, I want people to know this is very important to state. I know that when I say async, some people are disenfranchised with that. Some people do not like that. Some people might not be represented for that, and that's fine, I respect it. Not everybody is VS, right? Not everybody can be like VS, right? Going back to the main point, TLDR with async, That's Vias's perspective. This is the big fight that Vias came up, sure, with a bunch of other fucking smart people, PhDs, but it's Vias's framework. It's not something that represents everyone here at PATH, and I want to be respectful of that. I want to impose it, in other words, on people, right? Just by definition, when I have something, it's either you're in or you're out when it comes to these values things. It's not wishy-washy. You're either an altruist and you value that, or you don't. You either value innovation or you don't. You either value community or you don't. And you value yourself, number one. Although community can be described in other ways as well. And I have a sci-fi piece on that, defining all of these things, because I did a factor analysis on this for the stats inclined people and actually imposed structure on data that was gathered from people, students and companies and employees that describes this framework of ACING, right? It's not randomly, yeah, I'm a theorist, sure, I come up with theory, I'm academic, but I'm fucking applied academic, there's a difference. I'm a practitioner. So whatever I preach, I then collect data, I analyze it in R, I analyze it, I have other people analyze it for me, using Java, using SQL, using Python, I use Python too, using whatever other language, okay? And where am I going with this? Control, help me out here.
Nothing, just
right. The disenfranchisement of ACING. So I don't want to impose it on anyone. And so I want to be very careful and say that PATH officially doesn't endorse, let's say, any particular value, but the person in the community that heads PATH, which is Vias, and to a very big extent, Jordi, who mentioned the word branding on Steady Labs to connect it to what I was saying previously, right? These people, me, Vias, okay, walks the walk of ACING. You have to do a style, you have to have a style, it can be everyone. I try to be, but I want to be honest, genuinely, everyone that represents me, Vias, my brand, which I'm trying to promote on Twitter, and I appreciate, again, everybody that can follow. But also, again, Jordi, who is the creator of PATH. And that Jordi has his own values, people know who they are, and they are aligned with ACING, okay? I don't think Jordi would say no to altruism. I don't think Jordi would say no to community. I don't think Jordi would say no to innovation. I don't think Jordi would say no to nobility. I don't think Jordi would say no to gain, both psychological and financial. Fuck, Jordi is the epitome of all 5 of these things. You know what I mean? And whatever else Jordi wants to say, he can say. I cannot speak for Jordi. I'm not Jordi. But again, we're friends. We work well together. You've seen what we have created on PATH so far. Our work speaks for itself. We've been doing this since, let's say, launch when we started in, when was it, March? We are fucking 2 months in. I know it's chapter 3 and, you know, more things are coming, you know, TLDR for that, but I'm sorry, but we cannot control the things we cannot control. But again, we have a chess style move game system. Profound, data-driven, scientific decision-making informs every move. After every move, there's a reaction. There's then a reaction by us in the same style. Then another reaction, then another decision by us, then another reaction, and so on and so forth. And here we keep looping it like you guys are looping fucking, I don't know, God knows what type of tokens, but meth, hope you're looping meth. So we keep looping it, and we're gonna we are programmed to go to 10K as the great GCR Morpheus style said once upon a time, and came back to the world of the apes. Fuck me, where the guy came, you know, the world we live in. Anyway, which is unfortunately not a just world, and I'll write about that in sci-fi, have a note, the just world hypothesis, and that life is not fucking fair, unfortunately. We are all dealt something. Some have a fucking royal flush. Some have a fucking 6 and 7, you know, or actually 6 and 7 is very good. Have a fucking 2 and 5 or something. okay? And it's not matched. It's different colors and different, different colors. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm not Yota brain in poker, but I like poker, and we're gonna have poker, and I'll play poker with the community, and I can't wait for it to come, probably very soon this week. So more on that soon. Control, take it away, summarize again. But I want to say that about ACING, and I don't want to impose my values, VS's values, on everyone here and at Puff for all the reasons I described. And if I forgot anything, I'm gonna listen back to this. So I'm recording on my laptop, but I'm speaking on my phone from the attic, from the penthouse, from Cyprus, from Limassol, from the fucking Dragon's Lair. So everybody has a Dragon's Lair, and stick around our almighty Dragon's Lair, and you know what I mean. So Control, take it away. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. All right. So I think one of the very important points that VS was making earlier, I think, was around the idea of masterminding, I guess was the word that I was looking for before the ACING topic came up. And I think this is a very important point because everybody in the actual Discord has a little bit piece of information that other people might be lacking. And I think this idea, we need to start thinking about this more as a mastermind. And sure, there are going to be people in the community that don't actually care or don't actually dedicate as much time. But that's kind of what the roles are meant to do. They're sort of meant to divide the people that are more invested than others, and that offer have more value to offer than others at a particular period in time. And so I think that this idea is really important because there are many people that could definitely benefit from speaking to other people. And I really like this idea because I think it's something that in general most people are lacking in their lives. The idea of meeting up with people and with different ideas, with different points of view, and openly trying to understand them, or just feeding ideas off of each other to then create something really great. And yeah, so I think that was a really good thing that Piers was saying, and that I just wanted to highlight. And then the other stuff is more around having a plan. And having a plan is really important, not just in life, but also in the world that we are, right, which is crypto. And I'm sure many of you have heard the saying that luck, you don't really get lucky. Lucky is the formula for luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And so you want to be prepared for the opportunities that life is sending your way. And there are certainly many opportunities in the crypto space. And so we need to make sure that we have a plan so that we can execute those opportunities in the best way possible. And so this is what I like about these games, that these games sort of make you think and and everybody solves them in different ways.
Control. I'm very sorry. I'm usually very polite and mindful of people, and I don't like to cut in there. But you said something, and I want to emphasize it. It's very important for people, crypto natives. I mean, this for you crypto native meth whales out there that are listening. Puff's product may seem elaborate and need a lot of time, and I know you don't have time because I don't have time, and yours doesn't have time, and I mentioned this before, so I get you. Okay, but also consider, apart from the fact that it is entertaining and there's people around it, smart people that are engaged with it, and there's a real community, genuine ACING community that VS is building here. Okay, that's tangible. You can see that. I'm not speculating, or it's a fact. The other thing that is also a fact is that see this as a way to onboard retail to show them how crypto is. Instead of Path, it could be a bank, right? It could be fucking Aave and you have stables, USDC, USDT, or Euro, you know, stable coin, right? There's no price fluctuation. There's nothing. It's just that, right? And so they learned that, oh, fuck, I can have a wallet on the internet with all my money, my bank account, and that's me. And I can deposit it somewhere and I can buy NFTs or get NFTs and I can get airdrops and I can get it this bank to, you know, I can get interest fucking 5, 10%. Okay, I'm not going to go Ethereum style because then they get suspicious because they don't understand it. But, you know, humble, I have borrowing and lending fees that I can also put my collateral down, my USDC, my Bitcoin, whatever, and get a loan and pay something, but keep my Bitcoin, not have to sell it, and then pay my loan. And if Bitcoin appreciates, which I believe in the technology and it will, and Bitcoin ETF and all of that shit, it's going to be at a higher price in the future. So I can actually sell my Bitcoin at that point and pay part of my loan, which you shouldn't do. You should keep your Bitcoin, you should keep your Ethereum, you should keep your Path. But it's the realization. It's the saying, we don't need to feed people fish. We need to teach them how to fish. However profound this ancient saying is, and I'm sure there's other ancient Greek sayings that speak to with the same meaning. So it's the realization that they find a place, a safe place, a fun place where Vias, Jordi, the OGs, and all of you, and many of you will step up in the coming days and weeks, like Micro has stepped up, like Aslan has stepped up, like Phil has stepped up, like many others, like Rogue has stepped up. Like, shout out to everyone, and forgive me if I'm not mentioning some names, like Dickie J that I always see there, everyone here that's listening to us, and many more that are not. Okay, if they find a place with these people, this alpha, and they discover crypto and get enchanted with crypto, like I have gotten enchanted with crypto a long time ago, and like many of you probably are enchanted with crypto right now. And that's the whole fucking point for me. That's how I onboard the masses and retail, because they will come to me. I will attract them like a magnet. Where are they going to go? Show me another crypto community to go to. I mean, there's very awesome crypto communities out there. I'm talking, you know, beyond the OG protocols, like Jupiter DAO is awesome, very big DAO. I have a couple of people that are friends that are there in good positions. But there's no real, like, just community product agnostic chain in my mind. Again, this is Vias speaking to all of you and the crypto native whales, meth whales that find all of this shit soft. Like industry found Juran and Daring's shit soft. But then they went to Japan and they showed how hard and how much size they have to everyone. Because this shit does matter. And if you're talking about the planet embracing crypto in 100 years from now, when we're all dead, and then maybe they're listening to our AMAs and to us, because we are writing history, and that's why I want to document everything. I'm going to write a book about PUP and my experience, and it's going to be a very pleasant and very interesting book, and I'm sure all of you will like it, and maybe we'll give some free books to the community in prizes, because we will exist when I write the book next year, or I don't know, 2 years, whenever it comes out. So when people come to Web3, they will come to us, because people in Web2, they have a Web2 product, they have a Web2 community. Okay, think of Apple, think of Google, think of any fucking Tesla, any company you want in the world, right? That has a community, we call community, football teams, whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be tech industry, any industry in the world, right? They have a Web2 community, they have a Web2 product, but they don't have a Web3 community. And all of this shit is foreign and scammy and scary to them. So when they decide to make the leap to transport themselves, beam themselves light years in the future to crypto, they will look around for partners. They will look around and see who can we make friends with. I want to make friends. Because in business, guys, it's all about networking, who you know and who knows you. Yeah, your degrees can get you in the right rooms and PhDs and all of that. But at the end of the day, apart from luck, the things that you can control, again, are your networks. Who you allow and who you want to be in your network. And when Web 2 looks for networking, guess who's going to be waiting? And guess who's going to have the balls, forgive my French, and guess who's going to have the history? Guess who's going to have the intimacy? Guess who's going to have the non-self-centeredness? Guess who's going to have the reliability? Guess who's going to have the credibility? Guess what values everybody will want, right? At that point in time, in the next few years. I'm not telling you it's going to happen now in the journey. I know it's not. I told you that before. But in the next couple of years, I am a dreamer. A man can dream, as they say. So that is my vision, and that is my dream, and that is what makes me still be in the fucking attic 55 minutes past the time that I said I was going to go next door, and I'm still here. And my wife is forgiving, and I actually texted her here on Viber. And yeah, I think she's fine, and she's very understanding. But that's the sacrifice I make to be here with you, to spread the message, to onboard people to crypto for the good of Path, for the good of you, personal good, for the good of me, for the good of us, for the good of your city, for the good of your country, for the good of humanity, of the world. I really believe that, and call me a dreamer. And I love the Ozzy Osbourne song, I'm a Dreamer, and you should go and listen to it, and maybe I should start citing it, apart from Battleborn from the Killers. But yeah, Control, back to you. I think I've said a lot again, but again, I'm here for another 2-3 minutes, and then I beat myself next door, but this time for real. Sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. Yeah, where was I? The plan. Yes. So nothing. I just to reiterate what I was saying earlier is you always want to make sure that you have a plan in general, and I think that's one of the things that is very important, not just in life but in crypto. And you want to make sure that you are one of the lucky ones. And as I alluded to earlier, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So you always want to be prepared for anything that could arise. And
yeah, so lucky. Yeah, so luck is important. Yeah, luck is important, and I have had the good luck to get accepted in good programs, meet good people, be mentored by good people. Shout out to my advisor, undergrad, a guy called Robert Levine, a brilliant mind, passed away a couple of years ago. Passed away fucking 2 weeks before I went to see him. He was professor emeritus at Fresno State, University of California, California State University at Fresno, when I was for my BA. I also was in LA for my BA for some time with UCLA. Shout out to the Bruins. And yeah, this guy, he went to Nepal to help people. He was an altruist. He studied helping behavior. I actually did helping experiments in fucking in Hamburg, Germany, in Abu Dhabi, UAE, in Amman, Jordan, in Athens, Greece, in Cyprus, Limassol, and Nicosia. What other countries did I do? Yeah, when I was in 2007, 2008, these was the types of experiments he was doing, and I would fucking measure helping behavior and see what place is more helpful. Are big cities more helpful than smaller cities? By helpful meaning, you know, be a good person and help someone in need, right? Someone that clearly is in need. And we would devise experiments where we would we would, I mean, it's a bad word, but I'm going to say it. We would deceive people into believing that I was blind. So I would put sunglasses. I would stand in a busy street at the traffic lights with a cane, pretending I was blind, and I would wait and see what would happen. And my father was across or next to me and documenting on a piece of paper the reaction of people. So trial 1, nobody does anything, they get 0 points. Trial 2, somebody tells me it's green, you can go. A stranger tells me it's green, you can go, you can pass. They get 1 point. Some people will ask me, do you need help? Do you want me to cross you take you across the street? They get 3 points. Some people would just grab me by the hand without saying anything, just take me across, right? They would get 4 points. At the end, when they cross me across, they would ask me, do you need to go somewhere else? I can take you there. They would get 5 points, right? And I would do these random trials in these 5 countries that I mentioned, 6 countries that I mentioned, for maybe around 30 to 50 people, random strangers, men and women, half and half, randomly. We have a random process. 2 other experiments at the same time. One, I wear a cast on my leg and I'm limping and I'm carrying a stack of books. And at some point, I drop the books on a random stranger and I see what they do. They pass, they don't do anything, 0 points. My father is noting down and rating them. They say they take a book and they give it to me, they get 1 point. They take the book, they give it to me, and they say, hey, can I carry the books for you? They get 2 points, and so on and so forth. And a third experiment, because I don't want to digress, but I want to acknowledge my advisor, Robert Levine, because it's his experiments. He did them in the 1980s, 90s, published in them in very prestigious top-tier journals in the cross-cultural psychology field and social psychology field. Was a brilliant mind, wonderful person, very kind, genuine, everything that anything would need from an advisor. Anything that a 22-year-old, would need, 21-year-old would need from an advisor. And he gave me his time. I was his honor student. He wrote very good recommendation letters. He connected me to hospitals, and I worked, in psychiatric clinics because of him, and the autistic centers with children with autism. I worked with that. At Fresno State, they have an autism clinic. For 6 months, I was there. 6 months with clinical psychologists in psychiatric patient clinics. 6 months to an HR department, which is how I discovered industrial organizational psychology. And anyway, to go back, because I want to pay an homage to this person here publicly in front of you, and I'm sorry if I'm taking your time, but anybody wants to hear can hear, or pause or fast forward in the further on to this recording in the future. Hello to you in the future. And the third experiment was I had a pen, a nice pen, a Mont Blanc pen, and I would drop it right in a street as I was passing someone. And again, my dad was noting down points. 0 points if they saw it and just went straight and didn't do anything. Some people said, hey, you dropped your pen, 1 point. Some people would pick the pen and wait for me, and I would go and I would pick it, 2 points. Some would take the pen and just bring it to me in a very nice manner, and they get 3 points, right? So we quantified, in other words, we quantified helping behavior, psychometrically quantified it, got data, numbers, which we then use math and stats to do analysis, and wrote a paper which I presented at the conference of cross-cultural psychology in Bremen in 2008 in Germany. And I met people there, very famous people like Hofstede, Gerhard Hofstede. He's the guy that has a very known framework. Harry Triandis, who's Greek, used to be late Harry Triandis. He came up with the terms individualism, collectivism that you guys know. He's the guy, one of the main guys behind it. He was Greek. He was at the University of Urbana-Champaign in Illinois, a top-tier university with a top-tier psychology department. Shout out to those people. I have some friends there in that department, professors, and also past students, alumni from there. And And yeah, I was lucky enough to have this, and that's luck, which again, I want to go full circle with this. That's the luck aspect. That's the aspect I cannot control, that I was blessed by God, of whatever supernatural force you want to call it, or basically nothing, just chance, serendipity, however you want to see it. But I also made lots of decisions throughout the way. From 1984, when I was born, to May 12, 2024, I have made hundreds and thousands of decisions in my life. In the beginning, I wasn't making very good decisions, but I was a good kid and I wanted to learn, and I was nice and polite, and I was good with people, and, you know, and then I became a scientist. I got trained. I was a wild animal that was tamed. Wild beast is what I tell my wife about our kids sometimes, that they're savages in the good sense, right? They're beasts. They don't have manners. We have to teach them. We have to humanize them, civilize them, right? In different ways. And there's a system there of parenting. We're authoritative style of parents, meaning, a psychologist would say, we are high on warmth. So we show lots of emotions. We love them. We support them. We communicate with them. We trust them. They trust us. But we're also high control. So high warmth, high control. Control is having, as the name implies, control and telling them what to do, when to do it, being authoritative in the sense, straight with them, and exercising punishment, giving rewards. That's because that's what the research says, and that's what comes natural to me and my wife. I'm more on the control side. My wife is more on the warm side, but together we balance them out. And that's a balanced, and we call it authoritative parenting style. And there's a literature and people that have written about it. This is the stuff I teach my students in my classes in psychology. This would be a psychology day where we lecture, and that's what I'm doing in essence now. And that's my style, and that's what I want, and that's why I want people to see that. And if they're on board, support me, help me, follow me, like me, tweet me, comment with me, come to Cyprus and tell me you're here, come to South Korea and tell me you're here, be part of my network, because I can help you as I have helped many others, and you can help me as many others have helped me, and we can make lifelong, meaningful, genuine, emotional, social, even family bonds. You can be the godfather of my next daughter or son. Who knows, right? That kind of a thing. Or I can be the best man in your wedding. Who knows, right? So, and this is the side of crypto that doesn't exist, and this is the side of crypto I want to bring in on the table. This is my ACING framework value. All of what I'm doing right now, and I'm saying to you and talking to you, all of that is ACING to me. And that's what I bring to the table, and that's what I want crypto to be all about. And another last academic professor, Dr. V. Goo Gaga Pact. There's this very famous framework in organizational science. It's called ASA framework. Many people worked on it, on organizational culture, organizational climate. People like Schneider, for example, and many others. But ASA means attraction, selection, attrition. In any company, and you guys all work, so you know what I mean, okay? This applies to everyone here in the call and everybody that's listening, as long as you're working for a company, organization, something online or brick and mortar. You're always gonna attract people to your company that are similar to you. They come because you pay them good money, and they also come because you have core values that they associate and they brand themselves with. You're an altruist, for example. If you value altruism, you would go to the Red Cross, as an example, okay? If you're not very altruistic, you wouldn't go to the Red Cross, let's say, okay? And there's a spectrum of people. It's not black and white. There's a spectrum, a continuum, which is usually described in a distribution of a normal bell-shaped curve. And I'll write about that in Sci-Fi if you guys don't know stats. No worries, I got your back. But you will learn, you can ask in Discord, and somebody will definitely answer, because it should be common knowledge in society, all of these things. And what a correlation is, what a mean is, what a standard deviation is, what a normal distribution is. Everybody should know this stuff, because they're very fucking important. Basic, fundamental human knowledge stuff you need to teach your kids about. And actually, I do teach my kids about, but in a game more fashion. And last night we're rating Eurovision songs, for example. We have a sheet of paper, all the countries. We came up with criteria for performance, like creativity, dancing, melody, right? Or copy pasta, which was a negative category of something else that reminded it wasn't original, right? And all of us were rating. And fun fact, last night, my daughter walked for the first, that's why I'm very happy, because I saw my daughter, my baby dragon daughter, walk the other day, and it was her first step that I saw her walk, and it was beautiful. It's, you can only know what I'm talking to you. You can, again, going back to what I said earlier, you can only understand the emotions and the tears in my eyes if you have been in that situation. And I wish everybody to be in that situation one day, healthy situation, to see your daughter or son, baby son, walk. But yeah, we were doing things scientifically again, because I'm teaching them stuff, right? Trying to teach them, oh, okay, you rated this, we had our score of 1 to 5, you know? 5, I love it, 1, I hate it, and in between, 3, I don't care, I don't mind, in the middle, and 2 and 4, you know, so and so kind of a thing, because these are things that they can understand and they can feel. Some people can understand 7 categories of 7 types of performance categories on a continuum. So we had this, then everybody rated in secret, you know, although my son and my daughter, they're quite expressive, but okay, they biased us a little bit. It's okay, it's all good and laughs. But normally you wouldn't know what they're rating, and you wouldn't be expressing your emotions and your opinions when you're rating to someone else, because you're biasing them, and that fucks up the measurement and the validity of the measurement and the reliability also. And there's measurement error, in other words. And I'll talk about validity and reliability of another sci-fi. Please take note of that control. So much good stuff to teach people. Yeah, we rated. There was a mean, right? We didn't go standard deviation, they're too young for that, but an average, a mode, they understand what that means, right? The most frequent Y value, value in the middle, that's the median, right? The average, if you add all of these things, you divide, because they know division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So they can do this stuff. They're quite smart kids. Yeah, and you teach people that. And again, these are the things we decide to do because they're in our hands, and it's not luck. Luck brought us to the situation. It's up to us how we choose to decide what to do. And hopefully by being part of the Discord and leveraging the communities and making friends with me and others, the OGs and many, many, many others, like Micro, shout out to Micro again. I'm going to be quiet because I have to be respectful. I cannot just put your name there and say, hey, so-and-so did this, you know, and crucify you if something goes wrong, right? There's too much risk, limited upside, much more downside, if that makes sense. So, but shout out to him. This is Discord. He's probably, I don't know, listening in, maybe not. But yeah, meet people like Micro, meet people like Control, meet people like the counselor, the OGs, everyone. And this is your source of alpha, guys. This is the people fucking pay money to be part of Discords, crypto Discords, to buy products, expensive products. Some of them shit, some of them very good, like ChainEdge, and the ChainEdge guys, they're fantastic. I'm one of the what they call them, founding fathers. Not part of the product, like they're in the Discord at all. You know, I support them from the beginning. Very good product if you're into trading and shitcoins. I don't do that much. I like the insight analytics, so that's why I do it. Some do Mesari, some do other products anyway. But they're worth it if you know how to use them. And even if you don't know how to use them, come to the Discord, ask questions, and somebody else probably has a fucking ChainEdge subscription and might be able to help you with something, right? And make friends. And then when you make friends, then with common interests, then you do stuff together. Like you fucking ape in the same coins. You fucking have an exit-entry strategy based on each other. You fucking share YouTube clips. Somebody will listen to the podcast. The other guy watches the YouTube podcast. The other guy listens to the spaces, and that's you do your research. You know, you have your mini teams. That's how I work in crypto and in life and in consulting. You know, it's all about teamwork. It's not me as the individual. I told you I'm not as smart like all of you. What if I had a way to take all of the information from all of you, put it in a, let's say, AI agent, hint, hint, future Google Gaga project coming up, and I would offer to you guys, if I do it, pre-seed allocation, but that's Google Gaga. That's not Puff. So imagine if I can leverage all of this knowledge to make decisions in life, and I pull the trigger at the end, and I Duke Nukem if anybody was playing the game back in the day, because I was a gamer and a Final Fantasy aficionado. I love Final Fantasy. I play every single Final Fantasy. I love Command and Conquer games, Red Alert, Counter-Strike. You guys know what I mean. You've been to that. I love planes. I love Wings on Nintendo, Super Mario, Super Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo. I was very fortunate. The cards I was dealt in life, very fortunate to my father to bring the latest technology from the US, from Japan. You see, my friends, fellow Dragon friends, how everything comes up and goes full circle. But again, I digress. And I hope all of these chat messages, I am not seeing the chat. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking from my phone. But yeah, Control, if there's any questions or comments. What's the vibe in the chat? I don't know because I don't see it. Control, take it over. Again, 2 minutes and then I go to the pen house, the family Dragon
I think
house.
everybody in the chat is mostly talking to each other, but there are a few comments here. VS, you're an old school gamer, respect. And yeah, I think we have quite a few gamers in the actual community. So
yeah,
I think
that's awesome.
Probably why they stick around.
And also, I love rock music and metal music. I used to play in a band, electric guitar. I used to take classical guitar lessons with the Trinity College of Music. I have like a 7th grade, 8th, 6th grade level, like for years, you know, like seriously. And I also love electronic music. I used to be a DJ in my undergraduate years. And unfortunately, I wasn't a smart DJ because I didn't wear protection in my ears and I lost some of my hearing. I'm partly deaf in both ears. And that's something that scars me forever in life. But I love music, composing it, playing it, DJing it. And I was spinning vinyls, right? But more like house music, yeah, pieces. Yeah. Lots of parties, raves, stuff like that. Yeah, shout out to the people in California, San Francisco, Fresno, and LA, and San Diego. Wonderful years I spent there in my undergraduate years. Yeah. Okay, Control, take it over, and I'm leaving now, and I'll connect after. Please bring people up to stage. This was meant to be an impromptu, well, it's impromptu banter, but it's also chapter 3 game analysis. I shared my analysis, you shared yours. Let's hear from people and go back to come back to earth.
Yeah, sure thing. I think everybody got to meet VS at a more personal level. So if anybody had any questions that he was a real man, I think that kind of answers it for us. I just wanted to open it to the chat to see if anybody had any questions. And if anybody also wanted to come up on stage and speak, we would love to just interact with you guys and answer any of your questions. If you want to raise your hand, mind you, if you're on desktop, on the top right-hand side, you'll find a little hand icon, and you'll also find the chat bubble. If you click on the chat bubble, you'll be able to get access to the chat and be able to ask questions there. So, yeah, guys, that's very important for us. Is more than anything to connect with you guys, and that's mostly what we're trying to do here. Because I always say and tell everybody in the community that we're trying to build the strongest community in Web3, and that's what we want. And so if there are doubters and people can have their doubts and can have them answered. And if people are free to come in and people are free to leave. At the end of the day, this is all a filtering process. and that's what we want. We just want to build the actual strongest and biggest community that we can possibly build. And yeah, so let's see. When a CS tournament? Okay, Micro, I like where you're going. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if everybody plays Counter-Strike, but I think that would be a pretty awesome tournament. However, I do think that we have some pretty good ones coming up. But I am definitely going to try to convince and see if convince somebody, and see if we can actually get some type of a gaming tournament, a real tournament, esports tournament. I think that's what you're getting on about. When poker tournaments? Yes. Is there anything that you'd like to say about that other than
sure.
Coming soon?
Yes. Hero and the guys are planning and coordinating for that. We have had formalized OG meetings, multiple ones actually, coordinating everything that will be rolling out. I can speak to some of the things that we are rolling out, but specifically for poker, if Hero can give us an update, that would be great here. If not, that's fine. I think he was typing in the chat, but maybe he cannot speak. If Hero can speak, then please come up, Hero, or request to and control can.
He's currently typing, so.
Okay, awesome. Now, the other things that we're rolling out is memes, meme competitions, and contests. We are rolling out Pathkeeper roles that are coming with different perks. We are rolling out an AI generation dragon. And we are building an AI agent that is like your ChatGPT in steroids of Puff, which is a true fucking innovation. I'm so fucking proud of this and the people working on this. Shout out to Enzo, to Puppy Blue, to Tomaton, to Eclipse, to Better Call Saul, to everyone, to Control, to BWAC, to everyone that's been a part of it. Yes, BWAC. Everyone has been a part of it. It's a true fucking innovation. You can't imagine how much money companies pay for these tools to have. So that's going to be coming in the next 10 days, but much sooner, the other things that I mentioned, the roles, the contests, music contests, original music and AI-led music, memes, 3 different categories of memes, 1 general humor, 1 puff around the world, 1 the second puff around the world, a 3rd one, which is, I'm blanking out here. What's the 3rd one, Control?
Are you talking about the games? Or
no, the memes, the contest for the memes. We have 1 picture for Puff Around the World. We have 1 that's going to be general funny humor, right? And there's a 3rd category, I think that we came up with that I'm blanking out, forgive me. But we'll be coming out with all of these contests this week. We're going to roll things out one by one. We can't have 2 contests at the same time, I think. It makes more sense to have at least on a day-by-day basis releasing things. But rest assured, guys, we have lots, and much more things that I haven't said coming, which are going to make you very, very happy and put a smile on your face every fucking second of the hour of the day, of every month, of every week, of every month, and of every year, I hope. And that's the vision. And we're going to have also the opportunity for people, anybody that's interested, we're going to be giving out merch, Puff merch to winners. And we're going to be giving out some Puff to winners. And we're going to be giving out some perks to winners. Will all be announced for different games, depending on, people have to earn it, right? As long as people can earn it, I don't mind giving a bigger or smaller reward, right? It has to be calibrated. And for people that were not able to win but still want merchandise, we'll have a way for official Puff merch for people to buy online in a Web 2 fashion. Unfortunately, because Web 3, we're not there yet, as much as I would love to. So it'll be easier for us, but we have to do it the Web 2 style, and I will be communicating details in the coming days for that. But the journey, it's going to take us at least I don't know, Jordi needs to say something officially, but my estimate, in the beginning when we started, I thought it would take, up until mid-June, late June. But now the way I see things, it's probably going to go until mid-July to mid-August. I wouldn't be surprised if it's mid-August and it's chapter 6, But that's my personal opinion. I may very well be wrong, but that's how I think about it, and to be able to structure my life around it as well. Because don't forget, I'm also very fucking busy. But Puff is also my baby in a sense. I'm the godfather. Jordi is the father, and maybe I'm the mother, if you want to think of it that way. Maybe it's turning out to be, or godfather of dragons. I'll let you guys decide that and be the judges of that. So that's my expectation. So there's plenty of time. Try to not FOMO in and out. Have an entry and exit plan. Be disciplined. Self-regulate. Read the sci-fi self-improvement and suggestions I give you based on my experience and based on the science at a university grade information level, not misinformation bullshit, right? With citations, with Google Scholar and stuff like that. Yeah, just take it easy. We're in a bull market. I really believe that. We saw, of course, the peak of the mini cycle we had. Now we're going down. We're going to consolidate. We're going to chop for a few months, and then we're going to fucking blast through 100K with Bitcoin, and then the magic happens. I don't know for how long. I don't know where we're going to go, but I know it's programmed to go to 100K. GCR said Ethereum is programmed to go to 10K. Goo Gaga says BTC, humble Goo Gaga, because I'm not GCR. I don't want to confuse people. I'm very clear with that. Goo Gaga says Bitcoin is programmed to go to 100K and beyond to GNZ 11. That you can quote me on that. I can commit to that. And take the blame and, make fun and troll me if that doesn't happen. And, we fucking go back to 15, 16K tomorrow, So, yeah. Control. So I see some hands.
Yeah, great. I was just about to say. So we have a hero protagonist up on stage with us, and we're just gonna get Rogue Babag up.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick update because I know Micro asked about the poker. So yeah, we're planning to have it on Club GG Poker. I don't know if you guys know that platform, but it's pretty good for kind of free roll tournament, which you need to download it on your mobile or on your desktop. And we're just gonna figure out prizes and like give up bounties on people. So I personally like to see a bounty on every OG that they explain it. So if you guys knock out an OG or Jordy or Yas or whoever from the poker tournament, you get a prize. So we need to figure out, are we going to do book prizes, are we going to do merge prizes, and figure out the logistical stuff. So once we have the logistical stuff figured out, we'll be running them pretty soon. And there'll be 2 tournaments. There'll be one kind of a quick tournament that has a shorter structure. So for you newbies who are maybe less poker savvy, it'll give you a chance to win against the sharks out there. And then we'll have a longer one that will be more strategic, that will allow a bit more skill to play through. So that's the update on poker.
And Blockhead has just said, I always come second, so only the winner will knock me out. We'll see about that. And okay, so we'll give Rogue. Do you have a question?
Yeah. It wasn't really a question, excuse me. It was just touching on the fact that Goo Goo was talking about extending timelines and things like that. It was just to touch on, basically, you don't want things getting pushed forwards and rushing things. What we want is, release it when it's perfect, release it when it's going to do the best thing. Because I know people get antsy and, oh, why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? And I think it's absolutely fantastic that you are willing to delay things to bring it at the best point.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Rogue. It's all about quality. It's again, there's huge responsibility, guys. We're a multi-million-dollar protocol. company, if you will, right? Because I think in company terms, Web 2 terms, that's my framework. That's where it comes from. And I'm blending, the Web 3, whatever culture and nativity, cryptonativity that I have. So yeah, we want quality over quantity. Everything, we have an agile methodology. As I mentioned, I run Puff and whatever comes to my responsibilities as I do a Fortune 500 company, as a Google, as an Amazon, as a whatever top tier great company, tech company you wanna say, or finance company. And yeah, we appreciate the patience. And it's very important to, again, be 150% confident that you're ready to begin and not push things and not rush things and not stress and not, even though your people are impatient and they're waiting. And we are in a position that we're mature enough to not be influenced by those factors and forces, your DNI and the devs and the tech lead and everyone. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We do the best we can, step by step, in a chess, masterfully grandmaster Yordi style. That's it.
And there was just one more thing that I wanted to say, was you're in so much trouble with your wife.
Yeah. Well, actually, she's sleeping the baby. She's taking a nap too, I think, right now. So I'm kind of saved by the baby, saved by the dragon baby, hence why I'm here. And I'm recording and I have to stay here to record, to finish. But that's fine. There's understanding. They ate. Kids are in bed. They have school tomorrow. Baby's in bed. My wife is resting. So whenever we finish, we take our time. It's okay. Now I'm not stressed. I was before, but now I have a very understanding, loving wife, supportive wife. Again, shout out to her. And yeah, do consider supporting her. She's the artist of the family. I'm the scientist. And together, Guild Platinum, that's her baby, that's her company. She gave birth to it, and I'm growing it as with my scientist way. And we've been very successful the last 2019 is really when we took off, and 20 during COVID actually. But yeah, it's tough to be a founder and co-founder. And now she wants to do her bridging between art and NFTs. I was actually mentioning this a little bit, but yeah, she's an artist. She does oil painting. She wants to marry it with technology and Web3 and NFTs. So the owner of the painting, oil painting, is going to be someone that buys it from a NFT marketplace, a multi-chain NFT marketplace, and there'll be time for auctioning. And then the winner, we ship the painting to them, a beautiful oil painting, pop art inspired. It's a limited edition. It's her first collection, so it's valuable to me and to us and to others, and certainly very valuable in the future, in my humble opinion. Selfless plug here. But it's 69 pieces. There's going to be 3 phases, 23 pieces at each phase. So the first 23 will be exhibited in a very prestigious gallery here in Limassol at Link 68. It's a high grade, high posh style grade gallery, very well known. We're going to have, a very legit setup with, cocktail shrimp and champagne and wine from my village, from my uncles' wineries. I have 2 uncles. My grandfather and I used to be working in vineyards when I was growing up every summer with my grandfather and my grandmother, my late grandfather. My grandmother's still alive. So we're going to be serving that. If you're in Cyprus, join us. If you go to our company's website, Guild Platinum, you can see that. And we'll be releasing more information about the NFTs this week. And it's going to be a very nice event. We have actors coming, we have singers coming, we have politicians coming, we have finance managing directors coming, we have lots of very smart people coming. And they will all, most of them, they're not crypto related. They don't know what crypto is, other than they think it's a scam. And they will all watch for 20 minutes Dr. Vias Nicolaides in front of everyone, giving a lecture, a practical applied lecture with my laptop connected with the marketplace there on how it all works, how blockchain is, what NFTs grant, the empowerment, the digital empowerment, the non-sovereign digital empowerment that they grant to the artist, my wife in this case, right? And they will be onboarded. Some of them will be onboarded, and some of them will want to join in. And that's what we do. We onboard people. Yes, we make money, sure, but artists should be paid for their work. And we are pioneers. And what can I say? I hope we make money and people make more money because they discover the power of this technology. So if anybody's in Cyprus on Friday at 7 p.m. in Limassol, this Friday, it's upcoming Friday, join us. Very happy to see you and take you around in Cyprus the next day and meet you in person. Like I have other people, as I mentioned in the beginning. And yeah, selfless plug. Yeah, thank you for considering. What can I say? But I have a very supportive wife, and yeah, and believe it, guys, she has this thing going on. She knows about crypto, she knows about blockchain, but she doesn't know the technical aspects, how to list it on the marketplace and how to put the auction and how it's going to work logistically and the shipping addresses and all of that, and I need to step up and do it for her. We have a consultant that helps, but I need to put my personal touch, and I'm very embarrassed and ashamed to say that I have failed her so far because I have done only the bare minimum, and I need to allocate time to her as well. And at least the very least thing I can do that is of value is perhaps, sharing it here to you guys, or at least spending a couple of minutes recognizing her value and her existence, because Goo Goo would not be here if it wasn't for his Wifey Dragon. So I'll shut up there. Thank you for considering. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Cool. I just I don't there are any more questions that we have in the chat. Of course, we'll definitely open it up to everybody, and we're going to try to make more of these improv.
This impromptu podcasts, I think whoever is able to listen into them, I think they will have lots of value. Because right now we're talking about, post game 3, some live alpha, but in the future it can be some type of a new protocol, some type of a new launch, some type of things to watch out in the horizon, new technologies. So this is your source of alpha, and that's what I want PUF to be. I want anybody that's in crypto to join in, tune in, listen to us, hear us, be us, and contribute to us. That's what I want. That's my grand, let's say. If I could do that, I'm a very happy man, and PUF will not go to zero. And I will be a wealthy man too, and you will be wealthy too if that happens. Know that. So do your part and support us, and don't expect everything from the team. We are doing as much as we can, but you can also do your part and stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes, of course, and that's a good point, because it brings back the thing that I was talking about, how we should definitely, or people in the community, because I definitely have viewed it this way, and it's that everything in PUF is sort of like a mastermind, and that there are people there, that there are people here on chat that always have a little piece of information that others don't, and that you could use to your benefit. So it's very important for everybody to network with each other, because that's how we help each other win. So, and whatever contribution that you can bring to the table is always going to be valued by other people. Recently, Micro has been doing an incredible job, so shout outs to him. He's been providing the community with a lot of visual representation of data, and that has been very helpful for everybody, I think. And yeah, everybody has a little bit of an edge, and if we all work together, we can all win together. So I think that's one of the most important parts, and I think one of the messages that VS just wants to constantly highlight, because the value is definitely in here. We just need to all synthesize it and just work together to kind of show that value to other people.
Yeah, in crypto native parlance, we need to stop thinking about PUF as a fucking airdrop farm or something, some bullshit, right? And start thinking what PUF is doing, what PUF has done, who is at PUF, right? What do they stand at PUF? And does PUF have a fucking future that I would want to have at least a stake in it? And, is PUF's upside crazy better than its downside? That is the question, my fellow crypto-native Ethereum denominated whales. Because I'm one of you. I'm like that too. And that's how I think. And I know many of you think like that. That's why you're at Puff. But if you're new, think about that.
Yeah, for sure. This is again, this can only be positive for everybody. And I'm more excited is about the next few things. I personally have some things that I'm going to contribute to the community that I'm really excited about. So definitely look out for our next podcast and future events that we'll be hosting. They will definitely be a little bit more targeted. This event has been kind of an improv to the community, and we're just talking about a lot of things at the same time. But they will definitely be a little bit more targeted towards specific topics. So if you have interest in them, definitely try to set some time aside to speak about those or to just attend the events. And if not, we will always try to record them for you so that you can also see them and engage. Take them in at your own time. If that makes sense.
And excellent control. Thank you for that. And just to say that people that know me know I have structure, and I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have structure. I like things to be organized. I like things to be nice. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So yes, future podcasts are going to be much more specific and much more structured, much more organized in their topics than my freestyle ranting here tonight. This is impromptu. This is, again, I'm doing this for the first time with people, so it's more personal. Future times will be more less intimate, but still casual and beneficial and valuable. So there's lots to look out for, and I'll put a little secret out there that, as I said, my wife is an artist, and she's preparing a very, very spicy, juicy, viral meme video inspired by an real-life Instagram viral video recorded in Greece. It's going to be in English, of course, but it's a very, very spicy set of events that you will see. And hopefully it will be coming out this week. So if you like it, fucking retweet it. She'll tweet about it from her account. It's Yield Flat Art. You can ask me, you can DM me, and I can say it to you. But please, I'm gonna repost it, of course, in quote. So yeah, spread it around because it's Puff. It's about Puff's penthouse. It's about us, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious. I'm just laughing hearing about it. And Control actually, it's a team effort, and I spoke about this with Control because he has a degree in cinematography. That's his thing. And he actually, Control, please also tell us a couple of things about you, since it's the first time in a podcast that other people are hearing you. I know you're going to be part of future OG podcasts, but this is the first time people actually hear your voice, I think, officially. So do say a couple of words for you and comment on the spiciness of the video. But don't give it out, right? Don't tell, right? Not more than anything that I revealed. Okay? I trust you.
I definitely wouldn't want to steal the. I'm actually the type of person that goes to the movies like 20 minutes late so that I don't actually see any of the trailers. So I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. But it is very fun, and I think everybody's gonna like it. And to be honest, this is something that I think we need to practice more of, which is just laughs and memes, and I mean, whenever we do pop one out, I think it's insane, and I'm really excited for it. I just wanted to let everybody know that I left VS's wife Twitter on the actual chat. So anybody that wants to follow and stay tuned for that, they can just follow her.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. And towards that, what you just said, yes, we want to be positive. Remember, bad is stronger than good. Check out my tweet. It's a real psychological fact of human nature. Bad things that happen in life have a greater impact on us than good things. And we need to be mindful of that and self-regulate and control ourselves from our emotions. Read the abstract that I posted, the first image that I posted on that tweet, and come to Sci-Fi if you don't know what I mean. Or ask me or ask someone else and they'll be happy to pass it to you. Okay? And right now, Puff is bleeding. Let's be honest, let's be real. It's bleeding. People don't like it. I don't like it. Right? Although I honestly don't look at price. I honestly don't look at price. And you guys want to know something about Jordi and I? When we launched, and I said this to the OGs, I think, when we launched, Puff started going up pretty quickly. We were kind of stressed because we didn't want it to go that quickly, that high. We don't want that much, let's say, volatility. We don't want people to get hurt, in other words. Yeah, I want you to make money and you will make money. But we didn't want people to get hurt, and that's what happens a lot of times. And we cannot, and I was telling the OGs this, I cannot unfortunately control what happens. Some people are gonna lose. Some people are gonna, lose a lot of money that is life-changing to them, unfortunately, which they shouldn't be putting money on crypto that they cannot afford to lose. I said that again, and I'll say it here too publicly, and I've written about it. Only whatever you afford to lose. The same for Bitcoin, everything, all your investments in life, you don't want to put all your eggs in one single bucket. Unless, never, I won't even go there. Not even go there to unless, okay? That's gonna help you make better decisions, not having that emotional burden, that emotional pressure, discomfort, dissonance style of sentiment, which will lead you to traps. It's a pitfall. Sorry, I'm done now. And going through hardships, that is the strength of community. That is the strength of resilience. When there's blood on the street, when they knock you down, are you gonna get up on your feet? If you do that and you're resilient and you're still at Puff, even when you bought a Puff at 30 cents and you are still back holding at 13, 14 cents that we're now, be strong, but have an exit plan and an entry plan. And if selling is what you decided, if you have 50% loss, do it. Do it. If you decide you're going to buy at Puff 12 cents, do it. If you decide you're going to sell everything and leave and swear at Goo Gaga and Yorti and curse us, anathema, if Puff goes to 5 cents, do it. Whatever it is that you decide. But have a plan, execute, revise it, question it, be scientific about it, and always know that you are fucking wrong, that you know nothing, and you're just trying to make the best with what life has given you and what cards you've been dealt. And rest assured, if at every time you're motivated and you try to make the best decision, at some point you'll be a winner at the end of the day. It is very unlikely that you will be a loser. Let me put it this way. That's it, Control. Thank you. Going back to you now.
Yeah, no problem. So I just wanted to really good segue into the thing that I was just going to say. I was going to offer to the community, which was a little bit more of emotional support in terms of market psychology. You did ask me to present myself, and I guess I should have started with that from the very beginning. But I've been in the crypto space since 2017, and crypto just sort of got me hooked into trading. And then that inevitably in 2018, when everything went down, I learned my lessons the hard way, and but I still really wanted to get good at trading, and so I entered a firm to work as a forex trader, and I developed some skills there, and then eventually came back to crypto. Here I am, and aside from that, I've sort of earned my stripes and earned my money being a professional photographer and filmmaker. So fun fact there for everybody. And I guess that's why BS was asking me about the video and all that stuff, because we tend to talk about that stuff together, about creating content and all of that. Any of you guys that have been here since the first, even, when we were back at Meth Labs and we were sharing a Discord with them, I was the one posting a whole bunch of content and memes. That's what you guys know me from. So professional shit talker as well. And yeah, and so I guess what I wanted to offer to the community was more psychological insight into trading, and then provide some structure, some things to think about. And so on the next podcast, there will be a session there if you want to jump on. We will look at some charts, and we will talk about market psychology, trading, different strategies, and things that you could use just for you to consider. These it's all entertainment, guys. No financial advice.
Crypto counselor will say that, and that, guys, that's awesome. And that is exactly what we want PAF to be, like a university. And in any crypto university, trading is a big thing that we do. I'm not a trader per se, like I'm a swing trader, let's say, but I'm not a trader. I don't identify as one. I have friends like Lucky and others, and JD and others that are very good, and Dan Crypto Trades, a good friend from Holland. But I'm not that guy. I wish I had the knowledge and be able to do that. Whenever I try to play it cute, I get fucked. So I don't fucking game minute trades, day to day. I'm not that type of trader. But I do recognize that there should be a place where people that are like that can find a community, a sub, let's say, category, a sub group within PAF that can do that, and Control can. I'm very happy that we have very good people like Control that will lead this initiative and provide and contribute to the value, provide value to everyone or whoever is interested in this. And the same goes with other things, right? I have lots of things in my mind. I talked about classes of different content, some newbie stuff, but also some more advanced stuff, like the crypto native world doesn't want to know about MetaMask and fucking Ruby wallet. They want to know, though, about UniV3 weights and liquidity provisioning. They want to know about restaking. They want to know about airdrop farming. They want to know about yield farming. They want to know all about that stuff. That's stuff that I've been doing for the past few years, and stuff that many other people I know have been doing, very smart, Utah brain, smarter people than me, people I know have been doing. And I'm going to bring those people in. I'm going to leverage my network to provide value to all of you and to whoever wants to participate in this classes, seminars, right? If you're crypto native, you're not in the bachelor degree level. You're fucking either master's or PhD or fucking graduate level. It's different, right? And we're probably going to have those two categories. And it's going to be free if you want a bachelor degree, but if you want to be, a PhD or a master's, maybe we'll consider you might need to have some PAF or something like that, okay? So we want to give utility to PAF and PAF keepers, and it will be seen in the next 24 to 48 hours when I roll out the new tiered system, which I'm very excited about, which will come with different perks for different categories. And it's very valuable for the whales, it's very valuable for the shrimps, it's very valuable for the dolphins out there. Yeah. But we have PAF to GNZ11. Let's hear from him. Let's shut me up, man. Go, PAF to GNZ11. What's up, man? Or ma'am? Oh, it's a man. Yeah. What's up, dude? Yes, friend. We can. Go for it.
Did you expect a woman?
No, I wanted to just leave it open because, you know, I know women in crypto. My wife is,
Exactly.
right? So I want to be open and inclusive to that. I'm just, yeah.
I think I have a bit of a lag here, but thanks for letting me on stage as well. I just want to say, I think this is the first time I'm talking on the POF community, so big thanks to everybody. I just want to say I'm a very proud member, let's say, since day one. So thanks for everything so far. Not gonna lie, the last days were quite tough from a price action, let's say. But I think we all believe in the long-term vision, and that's probably what keeps us, long-term interested in the project. I have a more vague question for you, Bias. You guys always say that, PUF is just the beginning, and I'm pretty sure that you guys don't want to give any details and so on, but would you maybe want to talk a bit more about, in a broad sense of way, what is the vision long-term for PUF, after stage 6? What comes after this? Is it going to be remain in the meme category, or, what is the general vision? I'm very curious on that part.
Absolutely. Thank you, man, for that. Control, quick question. How many people in the planet? How many billions are we right now? Are we at
9.
7, 8, 9? 9, okay. From 9 billion people in the planet, the only one person that knows the answer to that question, my fellow PUF to GNZ11 friend, is Jordi. Now, as Vias, though, I can give you my answer if that's something you value and that's something that you would like to hear, and everybody here. I can give you the Vias version. PUF is, we've said it many times, and I don't want to say it in a good way, in a bad way. This is in a good way said, right? Don't misunderstand me, please. But PUF is an experiment, right? It's never been done before in crypto. All these things are even existence in this conversation right now, guys, is pioneering and innovative. I haven't been in other Discord similar chats that we speak, genuinely straight to one another and have good intentions with an ACING core value framework. That's VS's framework again. So it's an experiment. So far, it's been going very, very well. I want to underscore the fact that, again, I want to say this, Control, how many millions was Jordi able to pull together at the pre-sale? How many meth? You know? Who knows here?
You're putting me on the spot here. I can look it up real quick.
Somebody can type in the chat. That should be a fucking PUF trivia question that gets you at least 1,000 PUF. But it's an important point to make.
Well, it was 11 or 12 million, right?
No, it was more than that. Guys? How much meth did Jordi accomplish to gather, which was oversubscribed? Oh, nobody knows? Let's see. No, 42,069 was the conversion. One meth is 42,069 PUF. That's how we started. We actually did better than Ethereum. I performed it. It's less of that now.
I see here on CoinGecko it says something about started with 37 million.
Okay, all that money was put in PUF by people, many different types of people, thousands of people, with no fucking product. Now, I know we're fucking degens and we send our money to an Ethereum to a multi-sig, and get gold at some point. We do shit like that, but shit like that is very remarkable and very respectable. You have to respect that. You have to respect Blast, for example. They have their thing. That's great. You have to respect Jordi for what he has accomplished. I'm saying this to make the point that from VS's standpoint, because again, I'm not that one person in 9 billion, from VS's standpoint, this is a project that attracted so much liquidity, fair launch, big pool for anybody to trade in. If you're a whale, you wanted to trade with millions, come in. 6-digit or, sorry, that's my mom, but it's okay. 6 digits of and plus easily of liquidity of trades to put on if you wanted. You can come, you can leave. It went up, you made money. There was a potion Nazi at some point. An ancient Bybit whale put like a fucking 420.69 meth order in, but bid it to Valhalla in a sense, and that is unique. And that is a sign of people that are here to stay and not here to fuck around for 3 months in any fucking dark forest. You know what I mean? And so, although we have planned everything from chapter 1 to chapter 6, everything planned, all the activities, everything that's going to happen, Jordi designed it again, masterfully crafted everything. From day one, from day zero, from before, you know, PAF didn't start in March, PAF started many months before. But there was a plan until chapter 6. We're going to go through it. And after chapter 6, you will find out what happens. But rest assured, again, my tag, my line, and please make it memeable. We did not raise and empowered an almighty dragon, mindshare dragon, to slay it at the end in chapter 6. That's me Vias. Now, if Jordi sees it a different way and he wants to stop PAF, it's his choice. Unlikely, in my opinion, for those that know Jordi, and unlikely suicide. He wouldn't do that. Okay, we're alive now. We're not committing suicide, thankfully. And talking about this very sensitive topic, suicide, side note, for connecting with what Control said before, during Luna, the crash where we lost a lot of money, my family, but we're fine, right? It wasn't a life-changing anyway amount for us, believe it or not. In that time, I was with people as a psychologist, having my psychologist cap on, although I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I know more than the average person, speaking with people with very low self-esteem that have even contemplated the act of committing suicide at that point in time. And that's something, the emotional support, although we're not that extreme here at PAF, but that emotional support that we need to provide is something that, again, I want to have at PAF University. In university settings, in companies also, but in universities more, in a flagship manner, we have student associations, support, resources for our students, and the same thing we want to have for our fellow Dragon friends. So having said that, I hope that answers that and much more of your question, PAF to GN Zile.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does anybody else have any other very interest? By the way, Enzo has cleared the air for us. It was 28 million in meth at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also, yeah, sorry, yes.
No, go ahead. I want to see if there's any people that want to come on stage. I want to give some time to them, like we did with PAF to GNZ11.
Yeah, it's I know we're putting you guys on the spot a little bit, but this is kind of I believe is a really good opportunity to kind of clear the air on any questions that you have. Yeah, BS here, willing to answer all of your questions.
Yeah, and it's an important point because it's the first time that PAF, price-wise, right, which is something that most of you care about, number one, because the focus is there on the extrinsic rewards. Yeah, it's the first time that PAF has gone down in price. We're still, way above our launch price. So if you've been with us from the beginning, you should have much more because you were participating, I hope, in staking chapter 2, in bonding chapter 3, in the games right now, in the next game as well, and chapter 4 and 5 and 6. So that's what I meant. That's what Jordi meant when we said that Puff was designed from the beginning to be a plus EV game for its loyal community, fellow Dragon friends. And right now, as I mentioned before, it's at a very good position for people that haven't seen Puff, but hopefully they will know about us after the viral video my Dragon Wifey artistic mind puts out. And they can come in and raise all of our bags and their bags, because we're serious, we're here for me to stay. Again, this is all via speaking all tonight. I want non-financial advice, all of that. I've said that from the beginning, but if you're joining now, because I see 43 people, and that's how much we started, which means whatever I've said so far, my psychologist inside of me says is interesting and engaging to people. Otherwise, people would be dropping off. We went down to 34, but we have a very good retention rate right now. And so I'm going with it, and that's why I took permission from my wife, and she understands this, what I'm doing right now. And yeah, if you have any questions during these dark times in the forest, this is the darkest the forest has ever come, from a price standpoint, to use that metaphor and symbol. And I like symbolism, I like metaphors, I like parables. That's how people, I think, I can communicate neurologically with people, you know what I mean? Mind Jedi stuff communicate. Crypto Bull, what's up, man? Or ma'am?
Man.
What's up, man?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm okay, man. I'm very happy. I saw my daughter walk the last night for the first time in my life. I won in the game. I'm in Puff. I'm fucking Dragon Prime Goo Gaga. It's a bull market. I'm having a blast, man. It's great.
Good, man. Good. I also have a daughter which is 3 months old, and I was waiting for her to walk.
Okay. Awesome. Mine walked at 13 and a half months, which is about average. So you have another 10 months to go, but I wish you enjoy every moment. You can't believe how fast they grow, man. And we want her to stay a baby forever, but they grow very fast. So enjoy the moment. Like you're enjoying the moment of Puff, savor the moment, because one day you'll be old in your bed and you'll be reminiscing about your life and all of us. That's a normal developmental stage. If you listen to Erickson, which is a famous developmental psychologist, and what you did in life, that's what you reflect on. And so hopefully Puff will make you happy with the choices you made here. And of course, your family will make you even more happy with the choices you made with them. So yeah, what's up? Tell us more. What was your strategy? What did you do with the game? Tell me. If you don't mind sharing. If you don't mind sharing. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So I started with I thought that price will go up. So first I went into that 535 thing. And then I thought that I'll keep half of it. That's not a problem. Current price is not an issue. I don't think we should be afraid of market going up and down. That's the nature of market. It always goes up and down. And the current price is still above the original price, the launch price, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think price is an issue. I've never sold my Puff. From day one, whatever I got, I'm keeping it. I have never sold even a single Puff till date. Although it went quite high and it came down, and when it was high, I could have sold and made a bit of profit, but I never did that. I know that it is going to go a very long way. And the way we are planning things, the way we are doing things, multiple things going on. So I don't think there is any problem with all this. It's just a matter of having a strategy. Once, if you have patience, this bull market is going to go way higher than what we all are thinking. So Puff is going to go a lot higher than what we are kind of even thinking that it will go to. There's a lot of liquidity which is going to come over the time on the mental ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, and we are fully aligned. I have the same stance and beliefs. I'll start from the last thing you said. Mantle will have its day in the sun. I'm convinced. We are not Mantle. Puff is not Mantle. We are independent projects. I want to make that clear again. And I do also think, as I said, that we're in a bull market. Bitcoin is programmed to blast off 100K one day. I think that day is going to come in the next 1 year, in my mindset, if not sooner, but probably a few more months. But that's my personal perspective, not financial advice again. That's Vias's thoughts, original thoughts. And yeah, people are always more scared when there's FUD, you know, again, going back to what I said earlier, bad is stronger than good. People need to hear 3 positive things, at least 2-3 things positive for every one bad thing that happens in their life. And you should too focus on the positives and not the negatives. So you're a more happy person personally, but also a more pleasant person to everybody around you. So it's a different mindset, right? A way of thinking. We call this cognitive behavioral therapy, changing the way your thoughts work. Cognitive re-engineering, it's another word that people use in the field, in the industry, the PhD slang, let's say. But you didn't tell us, Crypto Bull, what was your strategy at game 2?
I couldn't participate in game 2.
Okay, you came.
I couldn't. Actually, there was some function in my family, and I absolutely did not get time to just kind of do it.
Understandable.
And by the time I kind of saw it, actually, there was no announcement. The announcement was made by Jordi in AMA. And then I think, so I live in India, right? So it is more like when you guys are doing something, I'm mostly sleeping. And I raised this point in the general chat also, that whenever we kind of launch these things, we always give a 2-hour notice or a 3-hour notice, but that is generally not enough because it's 24 hours, right? So there are people who might be in the same time zone, or there might be people who are in a nearer time zone, but there are people who are in a very, very different time zone. So I think I missed 2. It was announced by Jordi in AMA. Then I think there was no written thing. Then there's this tweet I think came out at around 2 hours or 1 hour or 2 hours before, and I couldn't get into it.
I think can't emphasize enough how much we're working for you guys, and it's very important for us. You guys are very important for us, and that's why we work so hard. And then to your other point, your second question, which was about the rewards, if anybody's holding from the very beginning and so forth. It's in talks at the moment. So we do want to reward people that have been with us from the beginning, but we also don't want to make it up. And so that's something that we're constantly we're discussing. And yeah, not so much me, but I do know that Vias and Jordi are discussing these types of conversations, because we always want to, first of all, because they have said it, and secondly, because I know that they have the best interests at heart. And so even if you notice on all of the games that have come out so recently, or before the games in Chapter 2, there was a lot of emphasis on where you started your journey, and some of them everybody that was here from the very beginning got a little bit of a perk with the multipliers, and if you had the green potion and so forth. And so I think there lies the answer to your question, and it's that we always have you guys in mind, everybody that has been here from the very beginning. But at the same time, we don't want to make it unfair, because I think one of the things that, and this is just me now giving my personal opinion, but I think a lot of the times in other communities, it seems like everybody that was early gets all of the prizes, and they get everything, and then everybody else that kind of came afterwards don't really get much. And so I think that this isn't very inclusive to everybody, because the weight ultimately of the community, sure, the people that were in the beginning did a lot of the heavy lifting to bring people in and so forth, and definitely deserve an acknowledgement and perhaps some perks. But everybody else that is part of the community is also contributing and some of them can even contribute more towards the end than the ones that were in the beginning. So that's also just plain devil's advocate here for you, but I think it's something to consider. And I know that these types of conversations aren't really taken lightly, and so they're spoken about quite a lot. And we always try to do the best for you guys. So whatever ends up coming out, I'm sure that it isn't something that was taken very lightly. Hopefully that answers your question, Crypto Bullboy.
No, I completely agree with you that it should not be unfair to anyone. And people who are coming, who did not come at the start and after coming a little bit late, they should be rewarded. They should get all the rewards they deserve. And people who came from the very beginning, they also should get all the rewards they deserve, right? So it's about being there and being part of the community, and whatever you do and whatever you deserve should be given to everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
and I should probably comment on these conversations. First of all, I understand your perspectives, and I agree with them and most of them. The thing I will say is, because I know there was a stare when Yordi on Steady Lads said something like in the style of you need to be early, and you're not early, somebody's going to dump on you, and most people are never early, which is true, unfortunately. But I think Puff is designed to do the things that you said, to reward people for being early, but also to be open. The people that are not here yet, but if they come and they join, and we continue executing as we have, and price goes up, then those people also can make money, and so on and so forth. So I don't see it as an issue, as a problem, because you can never be too late to the future, right? That's another meme that we're trying to push, that I'm trying to push. And I do believe that although in chapter 2 there's some I know that in chapter 2 some people were penalized, some people got more higher multiplier, and so on. Yorti did say that that's not going to determine your fate, because you didn't mint chapter 1 green potion, or you didn't mint the vial, or you didn't mint chapter 2 potion and vial. Like, you can come now, bond your path, and participate and be okay. You can come tomorrow, chapter 4, 5, 6, participate and be okay. And like every project in crypto, you can make money at different times. At all times, you can make money, honestly. And for us, as you said, we do want to be inclusive, and we have been inclusive. And everything that we have done so far, from our pre-sale that I described how it was, a fair pre-sale for everyone. It mattered for chapter 2, and it was for people to reward people that were early. It is what it is. It's crypto. What can I do? I don't make it's life too. I don't make those rules. Not even patch rules. That's your thing. So that's my response. Thank you.
Yes, we don't go away too quickly. We've also got a question for you from Babag, and he asked, has Puff gone as planned, or are we far from the mark you guys thought we were going to be at this point?
Oh, fantastic question. I love this type of questions. Thank you, Rogue. Personally, for me, speaking for Vias, Jordi can give you his opinion. I think from a scale of 1 to 10, number 1, I will say we exceeded my expectations by a good mark. Not light years away mark, right? But a very good, respectable one. So from a scale of 1 to 10, maybe I would give it somewhere in between 8 and 9. Maybe 8, let's say 8.5, something like that. But I give that mark, and I also know a lot of things that most people don't know in my calculations to give you that figure from the top of my head. And it's outside the scope right now of this impromptu I made to go there. But I think we did pretty damn well. Humble is not much, but it's humble work, if you know what I mean.
For sure. Awesome. I really like, because since you mentioned before that, or you highlighted earlier that Puff has been an experiment, it's a very good question to see how the experiment is actually going. And so I think that's pretty high mark, and should give a lot of people more things to look forward to. All right. Do we have any other questions that people would like to take advantage? That we have VS here, and we can ask some questions that some burning questions people might have. Otherwise, I think this has been quite the journey. Shout out to everybody, to all the 42 people here.
Yeah, I think people got much, infinitely Iota brain, much more. Sorry, Iota distance. I'm not implying I'm a Iota brain, I'm a Zeta brain. Infinitely much value from this conversation that they thought it would be. And I say this based on the fact of the data that says that we still have 42 people in the audience right now. So, but I don't know, maybe my measurement is wrong and people are sleeping, or they're not listening to me, and it's just a dead phone they're sitting and just in the chat. But from the chats and the people that came on stage, I think I'm satisfied and I'm pleased I spent this time well with you, and now it's time to go spend some time with my family. And if you remember, I was going to go next door at 9 p.m. originally, which then got pushed to 10 p.m. and now it's 11:30 p.m. And that's the type of stuff a man does for Puff. So thank you all for coming in. Control, finish us off if there's anything else you want to say.
Yes, we just have, I believe, one last.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have time. I just, okay, yeah. If you have questions, I want to take them. I don't care. So I'm here.
I think to GNZ11 would like to back up to say something maybe before you go, and then I think we can wrap up. So I've just pushed him up. He's should be coming on stage very soon. There he is.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry for taking up the time or the slot a second time, but I thought since nobody else is asking questions. I have another big one. First of all, on what Crypto Bullboy said, indeed, I agree with your response on, like, I've been there since day one too. I know that many in the chat who are listening, like Rogue and Michael and so on, they are so too. But I actually agree that it's very good to not create, a system where only the people that are there since the beginning get rewarded and all the others don't. Because what we need to make happen is to get as many new people in as possible. And that's actually also what my question is leading towards. I'm not going to ask the question that everybody else is asking, like when is text listing and so on. I know you guys have answered that before. My question is more of the type of, is there anything else that you think we as a community, without putting all the responsibility to the devs on the OG Dragon and so on, is there anything that we can do, to raise more awareness for the project other than, for example, retweeting biased tweets? I had one idea in mind, that I don't know if you guys know about the HNT community, which now, but it was a couple of years ago, and then this one, for example, something that they all did was everybody involved in the project basically put like in his Twitter handle like a little red balloon, that everybody could see, okay, this is, the Helium army or whatnot. Is there anything planned like this, for example, for Puff, where everybody that identifies with the project, for example, should put something in the name with a little dragon or something, or other things, with like profile pictures,
just to make sure that people get to raise awareness basically for the project and make happen that we have like very organic growth of the community basically.
So I'll very quickly give you my take on it, and then I'll to VS to close up. I just want to say that I think it's important to highlight that last point that you made, which is organic growth. I think is sort of the best thing, and I think is kind of what we are looking for. So just and this is just from my opinion, because I also see the vision that I spoke about filtering earlier, and people that want to leave or welcome to leave, and we want to make this an environment that attracts people that have something to offer, so that we can all grow together. And so when I think about that, I think about organic growth and the importance of that. And I think that the most valuable thing that you can possibly do is just interact as organically as you can. And so if you're thinking about something, if you're thinking, I actually have this question, ask the question. If you are thinking about actually posting something on Twitter about POF, or something that you really liked about POF, or an interaction that you had at POF, then I think that that's also really valuable. And with regards to the little red balloon idea and this stuff, it's a really good idea that you're always welcome to bring up to us, so that we can discuss it. I know you brought it up already here, and we'll probably have a discussion. We could potentially in the future make it some type of a qualifier for a specific role or part of a game or something along those. So I think that that's quite a good idea. So if you have any more of those, feel free to bring them up.
Yeah.
And,
sorry.
Yes, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, a few comments. I mean, piggybacking from what you said, of course, we have tools like roles in Discord that we want to use mindfully and smartly to attract new users and to increase the satisfaction of the existing users. Let me describe how I think of things, okay? So I mentioned the number 3,000 or so path keepers. It's hard for me to believe that these 3,000 people don't have one other crypto friend or one other person in their life that knows about crypto, is interested in crypto, even vis-a-vis through them, by virtue of knowing them, the community. So even just from there, you double your size. Now, from there on, there are things that you can do from a marketing standpoint, right? Now I'm thinking with my business marketing hat on, and some of the things I teach my students in consumer behavior class that I teach at the university, a higher level class for seniors, undergrads, and also master's level students. There's things that you can do to increase that. And of course, liking, retweeting, tagging us will make a lot of things, and has a significant effect. P less than 0.01, if you know what I mean. Similarly, the contest that we have with generating the memes, the videos, the music, the pictures, the contests, all of those things can be used as your content to propagate the message and attract people and be seen as the pioneers to your friends and get respect that way, let's say. And after this conversation, after your question, I'm so happy you asked it, path to GNZ 11, and I'm sure you're going to path to GNZ 11 in your life with such good questions. But I'm now thinking maybe I'm going to have a workshop, like a 1 hour, 2 hour, max 3 hour workshop on marketing that will teach people simple things that we use in marketing and in consumer behavior to make themselves more effective communicators and to promote themselves if they want, or anybody else. And this can be a skill, knowledge that you acquire from us, university grade knowledge, We will help you then nurture that skill, because knowledge and skill are two different things. Now I'll talk about KSAOs, knowledges, skills, abilities, and other things in HRM. Because we are an organization, and what I'm doing now is I'm going to create a training program for some of my stakeholders, right? And I'm going to teach them live valuable lessons on how to market themselves on Twitter or social media, what the algorithms see. Things like, you're not supposed to misspell things when you tweet. If I say friends with not, FRENZ, my style, I get punished by the Twitter algorithm. So I need to say friends, although it doesn't really represent me, and that sucks. It's fucking censoring me. In a sense, I'm kind of hostage to that. But sometimes I swear, like I've said fuck in a very recent tweet, fuck the algo. But if we want to be smart, we cannot say fuck the algo. We have to go with the flow and adapt to the situation. And to help us be more effective, I think I'll create a class that I conduct, I lead. Maybe I'll have a guest speaker, somebody from marketing, from industry, if they're willing to come. Whether they stay in or not, I don't know, but we'll see. Or somebody I trust that's good, that can provide value to you. And you will learn ways, you will learn knowledge, develop some skills in effectively marketing yourself, your brand, generate the data that Google will be paying you on Web3 10 years from now for that. Work on that, see it like that as a self-improvement, becoming a better you, okay? And I'm providing you with the tools to do that. I'm helping you. I'm your professor, mentor, let's say. I'm your Dr. Robert V. Levine of VIAS, and Jose Cortina, and Richard Dalal, and Eden King, and Lois Tetrick, and Lou Bufarti, and Steve Zaccaro, and all the great Iota brains at George Mason University Psychology Department. Rich Klimoski, my God, Rich Klimoski, right? Look up his name, respect. I work with a guy. So I will, in this capacity, help you become a better you and market yourself, and also path in the process, and it's a win-win situation. So what about that path to GNZ11? Would that help us get closer to that far, far away redshift galaxy?
Sounds like a good idea.
Wonderful. Maybe we'll have a vote. I wanted to bring this to community. Control, please be a good lad, a friend, and put that down in your notes, or anybody from the OGs that are listening to us right now. And let's have like a community vote. I'm guessing we're going to say yes, and then we'll find a way to do it within the week if we can. Okay?
Yep. Will do.
A workshop on how to be more influential. That would be the title, let's say. The power of influence from a psychological business standpoint, marketing standpoint. It's going to blow you away. This is you. People pay me a lot of money to do these things. I'll do it for free for you.
Fantastic. I have it written down, so I'll just bring it up so that we can organize it and set up the community. If they vote yes, of course, which I think they will.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, I know at the end of the day I can do whatever I want, but I want to put it out. I think it's a good idea, and I'll probably offer to do it outside of Puff if people want, because that's what I do. One of the many other things that I do with Yield Platinum is we have a community here in Cyprus, we have a community in South Korea. Some of them are here at Puff, and these are people that I onboarded to Puff and to Crypto first, and then to now to Puff. This is them. I'm not giving them financial advice. They know nothing. Not even my wife knows anything for her own safety, because it's very such as me and Yorti and the tech lead and another core team member who the OG Guardians met. They can vouch for these people. They met them, but I'm gonna allow it to Anon, because it's their decision if they want to come forward and dox themselves. But everybody knows me and Yorti. We are doxed, and we are Yorti is the brain. I'm the heart, and Yorti is the flag, and I'm the flag holder. Think of it like that metaphor. That's how I see things. That's how I'm inspired every day to execute and perform.
Perfect. Thanks, guys, for letting me on stage, and thanks for the whole AMA then. And I hope your wife doesn't kill you too much after extending to 4 hours.
I need to go back to my wife with the recording. I will not say anything. I'm just going to play this part that you just said right now. and you will save me, Puff to GNC left. You will literally fucking save me, man, because I don't think when she hears that, when I wake her up and she hears that she will be too harsh on me.
Tell her we still need you, and there is no way she can kill you right now.
Your words have been recorded in history, and my wife's ears will hear them in a few minutes. Thank you for that.
Great. That sounds like a great ending to a very improv conversation that we've had here. I want to thank everybody that have been here since the beginning, and all of the people that have stuck around till the end. Thanks so much for being here and for getting to know VS quite a bit more, and for asking questions, and for just sticking around. I think your presence in whichever way or form is very appreciated by everybody, and yeah, until the next one. Yes, if you'd like to finish with
of course, yeah, I'll have the last word, if you may. I had the first one, I had the last one. Thank you very much, Control, for moderating. You're awesome, and I'm glad that the community had a chance to hear you a fair amount, or whatever amount Goo Gaga allowed you to. And sorry for talking too long. But you guys now know why I'm I mean, I don't want to blow my own horn, but my students love me. Like, I love being in universities, teaching people, and as I said, Web2, practicing it in industry with the Platinum, and now going to Web3 with you guys. And this is my humble beginnings, official, let's say, as a core team member in crypto beginnings. Like, I go to Token, I know people, I do seed investments and stuff like that, but being an important part of a crypto protocol project like Puff and what we're trying to do, and with working with Jordi, a very good friend, family friend, it just means the life for me, and it's my calling, and I'm so fucking honored and humbled and lucky and fortunate to be in this position right now. And I want you all know that, I will try my best not to let you down, let my family down, let myself down, let Jordi down, let crypto down. And we are, I think, here to stay. And yeah, I have recorded all of this. I will upload it as soon as possible. Actually, my mother and my brother came up when I was mute, but I was recording. So I'm going to cut out some of the things they said. So if you see some things, very, very small things, were a couple of minutes in these hours of conversation. But if something is wiped out, that doesn't mean I didn't want it to be listened. It's just my mom and brother that were listening to me, and my brother smokes. And anyway, so yeah, he puffs. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Take care. Have a good night. Going back to the Dragon Penthouse. Stay safe. Be well. And let's puff and go. Ciao, guys. Bye bye. Kalinita. Yes.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Hasta luego, chicos. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ándale. Let's go.